presence on the camera.
What? I'm so good!
He's now all silent in a 1v4. He takes 2. Down goes both. Can he stay alive? He downs another 1v1 on the Kento, and he wins it!
Clutch this round out for IF. He gets 2. That's the diffuser. That's huge. Mikey, no, so
Oh my-
to drop. We're Subarctic is sprinting around desperately, and we're going to overtime.
Oh my God! Ashen! It's high noon. There's the 1v2 and 5-1-1/2 for Surf.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back, or thank you for joining us if you're just now tuning in. I am Lynx, and, well, there's a new guy here. Hello, Harrison. How are you feeling?
I forgot.
I was about to say, you're looking very
Yeah,
dark
I was
right
going
now.
to say, I knew I was forgetting something before we started the show. I couldn't remember what it was. And then I saw myself, and I was really dark. And I remembered.
You're bathed in darkness.
I'm still not as bright as you. My lighting has, that's kind of like my brand at this point, is just having really crappy lighting. But, Carter, we're here. We're reunited once again. And we get Chess Club versus GASHER'S Goons. We get Gunner versus Gasher. Who would have thought?
We get Team CC versus Team GG. I thought it was. I liked it. I made the joke in the production room and nobody laughed either. So they can't all be winners. But if you just started tuning in, well, you just missed Noob Slayers lose 2-0 to Mystic, which you might be like, oh, you know, they'll come back next week. Well, they won't. They're out of the league. So unfortunate for them. Mystic move on to the decider match, and they will play the loser of the match that we are about to watch.
Yeah, and Mystic, I mean, they lost to Chess Club last time. Chess Club did a very good job of kind of beating Mystic at their own aggressive game. So this game should be a very similar stance. Actually, considering all 4 teams in this group are pretty damn aggressive teams. I mean, with 3 teams known for being in your face and 1 pug stack, that's kind of the theme of this group. So I imagine this game will likely be pretty similar. Who can play the aggressive game better, who can control the aggression of the other team better. Last time, I mean, Chess Club did a really good job of handling Mystic. GASHER'S Goons had some trouble against Noob Slayers, though. So, maybe edge over towards Chess Club a little bit.
Well, if we want to take an in-depth look at the rosters right now, perhaps we can glean some information as to who might get the edge. You specifically mentioned this group might be about whoever can control the other team's aggression, and Chess Club appears, when it comes to their aggressive playstyle, even eclipses AQ when they were at the peak of their full court press playstyle that we often talk about. Last week against Mystic, they employed it to perfection in basically every round in which they got the opening pick, or they even traded out their first teammate to die. They pretty much won the round handily pretty soon after. But that's always the issue with teams, and they always seem to be teams that Gunner is on. How much is truly behind that aggression? When they don't get that opening duel, when their aggression is minimized, what is there to bring it back? There's always the mechanical skill and always the chance that we might have a flare-up from the team. There's always the worry of what happens if that early round fails.
Yeah, and I mean, Gunner's teams have always kind of been with that playstyle. I feel like he's a pretty loose IGL, but if we want to look at their opponents, GASHER'S Goons, a team that we know and love. They've been in Challenger League for quite a while now. It's Gasher and Afer, the only 2 returning members from Aqualix, joined now by Exile, Hat, and Rice. Biggest point for them right now is to figure out how to coordinate their utility on attack. Yesterday, it was not the greatest, especially on Clubhouse. It was terrible on Clubhouse. They didn't know how to clear Bandit, and I mean, it's 2022, man. Like, you gotta know. And Noob Slayers were able to push back pretty decently in a lot of these rounds. GASHER'S Goons cannot afford to let Chess Club, a more coordinated team, get as active as they did, because if you continue to let Chess Club, I mean, do what they want, if you let Gunner play the Gunner style, you're gonna get kind of run over. And hopefully, I mean, we didn't put it on the points, but a lot of what Gunner's teams tend to do as well. I mean, we talked about it, right? Last stage between, the difference between the Surf Roam and the Mystic Roam was that Mystic's Roam is very ratty. So hopefully Gasher Goon's intel game is on point.
Well, that is certainly the hope. We also want to take a look at some of the highlighted players of this match. Doc and Afer, we have Harrison. Doc obviously having a very good season so far, mostly because it was 2 7-3s for the 2 maps they've played so far, so pretty easy to pad your stats after that. GASHER'S Goons, it was much more of a bare-knuckle brawl. That was 7-2, 7-2, 7-5, but Aether was definitely one of the more standout performers on that team, especially because he's one of the players that last stage, despite his position on entry, didn't really show up as much as you would hope.
Yeah, Aether's actually, even though he's got a 1.13 rating, he's only got a 17% survival rate. I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world for, you know, someone who's playing Vigil, mostly on the defense. I mean, you can see his cost is still about 2/3, which means he's at least getting frags most of the time before he's dying. But I know we see Aether a lot of times on flex operators. I mean, Exile has now kind of filled the role of like that sledge role, but a lot of times we'll still see Aether play Buck. He plays Finka a lot, and you really don't want those kinds of guys dying early on. You're not going to get the most out of their utility like that. But I mean, like you said, Doc has had a standout season. He was kind of quiet in the past, but it's good to see him stepping up now, and we are going to need that kind of firepower from Doc and his team if we want to see them, you know, step up to GASHER'S Goons, who are a Challenger League team. You know, at the end of the day, they're in T2. Well, I guess 3 out of the 5 of them were in T2, and 2 of them are going to be new, but they're a T2 team, and we want to find out what maps we're going to be going today. Carter, I'm hoping they're not boring. Cafe off the board, that's great. Bank, even better. I like Villa. I love Coast, especially in this mashup. Coast should be really fun. And hey, if it's these 2 teams playing, I'm hedging to guess that, you know, we might have a pretty exciting Oregon too.
I certainly wouldn't bet against it. Obviously, you and I, well, you more so than me. I actually started defending Oregon a lot more recently, so not gonna put myself into the paradigm of people that hate Oregon, but this should be a fairly interesting and exciting series between these 2 teams. Even if it is a stomp one way or the other, odds are the team doing the stomping will probably make it an entertaining spectacle to watch. Chess Club, I mean, that was basically their game against Mystic last week, so.
Yeah, and Villa, I mean, being Chess Club's map pick, makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is for a long time. I mean, you remember when we used to talk about prod maps? I mean, I think we can all agree Villa is a gunner map. His teams have always been great at this. I mean, we want to flashback all the way to Aerial Arise, who won CCS. They were an incredible Villa team. I mean, gunner on Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers, I remember, won NSG tournaments on this map. So hopefully GASHER'S Goons do a little bit better than they did against Noob Slayers here on Villa. And of course, you know, GASHER'S Goons in the minority. I actually had Chess Club before this, but I don't know, like right before the broadcast, I had a feeling. I was like, you know, I think Gasher might be gunner. I have nothing to back that up, so don't look at me for an explanation.
I was gonna say that that's certainly a feeling. That's a feeling that I respect. Yeah. You know, I want you to be communicative of how you feel. However, I think it's wrong, and you're gonna look silly by the end of the night. I think you're gonna look like a fool.
Maybe you went to a therapist. I want you to communicate how you feel, but I want you to know that I'm gonna think you're silly, and you're gonna look like a fool.
Listen, I want you to tell me what you're thinking, and I want you to be honest. But I also want you to know I will be judging you, just as Harrison and I will judge the performance of these 2 teams and see if GASHER'S Goons or Chess Club stack up to their opponents. Get into the match, get into the ban phase. First one up is Villa. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of just waiting for Coastline after this. This is kind of a stepping stone to what should be an explosive match.
This is like the appetizer. Villas are appetizer.
This is true. This is like these are the chicken dumplings.
Yeah, this is the gyoza. Villa's the gyoza.
Harrison, actually, Annalise and I are making bao this weekend.
Really?
From scratch.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Dude, I took Serena out to a ramen place. She had pork bao for the first time, and she was in love. I felt threatened. But now Nomad is going to be the first ban from GASHER'S Goons. I mean, makes sense. Both these teams, very aggressive. GASHER'S Goons obviously want to be fluid around that map without the hard stop of those air jabs. Thatcher being next. I mean, it's Villa. At this point, it's Siege. You're not going to see Thatcher very much at all. I'd be very surprised if we see Valkyrie left up, especially between these 2 teams, especially on Villa, especially with a Nomad ban. You got like 3 different things working towards her, but it's actually going to be Mira, and they'll leave the decision up to GASHER'S Goons.
And surely we'll see a Valkyrie ban in response. It'd certainly be kind of a dangerous task to leave it up, but it'll be a Wamai ban.
Okay.
So Harrison, the nuclear bomb is on the board.
And I mean, hey, GASHER'S Goons, they use start on defense. So it makes sense a little bit, trying to reap the rewards of that Valkyrie and, you know, tally up the score before Chess Club get a chance to, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see how that decision affects the play, obviously, as we get into these rounds. My initial thought is that that might be a mistake, but she's not going to go unplayed, of course. I got worried for a sec. I was like, yeah? But then Gasher's going to 6-pick off the Maestro onto Valkyrie. I mean, this is a very standard lineup for AVG. You've got Cade Claws to help protect those study walls, as well as Vault, if you so choose to. The smoke, obviously, always a mainstay. Valkyrie going to be able to establish a lot of C4 presence here. Interesting that there's actually only 2 on the board, despite the Valkyrie being brought. I mean, Gasher will probably be playing downstairs. I don't see Exile necessarily doing so because he's a 3 armor. We'll see how Chess Club deal with it because, of course, you know, knowing that Valkyrie is up, they're bringing that IQ as well. Hopefully, Doc is very, what's the word? Perceptive of those.
Yeah. Well, even then, with the Valkyrie being 6-pick, the IQ is more of a prophylactic measure than anything like, hey, even if this is a bluff and they're not actually bringing it, I'm bringing this IQ. What? Oh no, I know there's no Valkyrie. Like that's the worst you have to gain if you bring an IQ. So Doc will likely be running that religiously throughout the course of this map. We'll put a bit of hit utility, but still you got plenty. Sophia lifelines, frag grenades for Bills and Gunner. Not the biggest deal. They won't have to start out trying to pierce their way through a bit of an extension in a trophy statuary. A lot of reinforcements dedicated to that wall, but normally we see teams give this up fairly quickly, about 45 seconds in, and they'll likely do so, as if you'll turn your attention to the screen. 4/5 of Chess Club, if not all 5, are outside main door right now.
Yeah, they really want to get through that double door. GASHER'S Goons, I mean, they might have some floor holes watching that position if they end up going through there. Gunner's actually repelled outside the skull window. I mean, how many times do we see someone doing that? That's a bit of a rarity. Ianaclin will go towards main stairs. It'll get shot pretty much instantly, and Rice gets the first frag. I was literally just talking about those floor holes, and the smoke will get a kill off of it. Down goes Snake, and the first pick of the series goes to GASHER'S Goons.
Rice always likes to get aggressive on that doorway, peeking out into books, and it works out here. And now Gunner trying to bring the man advantage back, hoping to win an engagement with the Jaeger on main stairs right now. Hat dodges the util burn and moves his way back on top of the stairs. Never mind, he's both blinded and stays there. There's one player outside the study window, so he's got to be careful moving up, but the rest of his team is doing plenty of the work. Bills is the first one to answer back in any sort of fashion on Chess Club. Finds Gasher down below, but still, so much damage has been done. There's still half the round remaining.
That was Gasher getting a kill from living room, actually, or rather library. Not a position we see often used this early in the round from the defense, and one that the attackers don't usually fall to. Typically there's a drone there, and Chess Club did have plenty of dead teammates to be watching cams. I guess maybe inadequate flank watch there. Maybe banning the Nomad was more of an impact on this attack than we had previously thought, but either way, it's Bills and Doc in a 2 versus 4. They've got a decent bit of time to play with, you know, just over a minute. Doc can also find any remaining Valkyrie cameras should they still be left up. There's not too many C4s, only one in the hands of Exile. Of course, Gasher died before that could leave his pocket, but still, you see GASHER'S Goons have immediately peeled off the offsite locations with the exception of 90. They are holding extremely statically, just daring Doc and Bills to try and push into the site and force their way into these crossfires.
Doc knows there's somebody involved. He fires some shots, but he does know there's one behind the couch. No, Rice. Oh, it's not actually Rice. It's Afer who peeks out his head, but Rice gets the kill with the toxic canisters, and GASHER'S Goons start things off explosively with a round victory on Aviator Games.
Really good use of, I mean, not only the floor holes from Rice. You saw how nervous the attackers were initially to push back in after Snake died. Gasher coming from library at literally the perfect time. That entire main push from Chess Club seemed like the only dimension that the attack had, and GASHER'S Goons just needed to stare in the same direction. Oh wow, Rice didn't have a floor hole? Did he just shot dry through the floor?
Okay.
Well, that's incredible. Jason
Living
Rice,
truth. Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going on a trophy, and hopefully Chess Club have more than one direction here for their attack.
That would certainly be something nice to see. They did seem to have some presence on other windows. Obviously, there was Gunner on Skull. There was one play on the study window. But beyond that, not that much. just sending it up main stairs seemed to be the name of the game. They don't have to worry, though, since even though they did lose, they get to cut their teeth on another site. Hopefully this one goes a little bit better. If they want a one-dimensional take, they could go for just a straight take and match to bedroom. But Harrison, there is not a single bit of hard breaching on the board, so don't think that's going to be the plan unless they send it in through bathroom and brick, which, to be fair, I have seen. In fact, we saw something attempted similar by Noob Slayers today. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it probably would gonna see something more over by Aviator Games and start over and move from the south side to the north side.
Yeah, I mean, lately, while Hard Breach helps on Villa, it's not completely necessary. I mean, it's a lot more important than it is on a map like Coastline, but it's still not 100% required. Villa is a map where there's typically enough doorways on the site that you can kind of shove yourself through several bottlenecks at once, and then it's not so much, it's not so bad. But usually that requires you to gain some sort of man advantage before you do that. That kind of relies on the trade game. And I mean, if Chess Club can't get these early engagements under their belt, then that lack of hard breach is going to hurt them even more. They're going to have to deal with a bit of an extension. C4 goes out from Afer towards the 90 window, but it's on the wrong side. Fortunately for him, Gunner gets out of the way just in time, but still, it's been 40 seconds. Now here come Chess Club through books. They'll shoot out the cam, but there's floor holes that they got to worry about, so Snake will open up that angle so he can use it as well. Mayfer's tucked all the way behind the bar. Exile not helping him just yet. There's no holes in the wall for him to support, and that means Afer's going to die without a trade, at least so far. 1 minute down. Chess Club get the opening pick, make it 2 before Gasher refrags. I mean, 2 for 1 there, make that 3 for 1. Pretty damn good for Chess Club so far.
Complete reversal of fortune from the previous round. Now it's GASHER'S Goons in a 2v4 in which now they have to figure out some way to pull this back. And that likely means getting aggressive. You can see Hat hoping to get a gunfight and a gunfight victory inside of 90, but he sees the head of Mr. B but can't fire the shots quick enough, or maybe Mr. B just a bit too quick for Hat Fushiguro to land the kill. Either way, still a 2v4. No aggressive attempt, victorious so far. Gunner will send in a nade, but Hat finally gets a victory, one desperately needed for GASHER'S Goons in this defense so far. With Bedroom in the defense's control and Hat going huge in sight, not only are we back to equilibrium, but there's a good chance they could win this. A little bit less so, now that Hat dies right as I say that. The Gasher does what he needs to. He gets 1 kill, but there's still 1 minute 10 seconds remaining for Chess Club to bring this back.
And Bills is Iana. Let's not forget that. While he doesn't have a drone in pocket, it's still somewhere on the field. In fact, it's right behind him. So he'll be able to find info with this and his Iana clone. But Gasher, he's right around the corner. Bills gets off the drone just in time, though, as the Jaeger swings. A nearly monumental effort there from Gasher and Hat to clutch up, but it was just not to be. Bills makes sure that it doesn't get out of control. Chess Club tie us up.
Well, once Chess Club are able to dominate that early game, it's clear they could very effectively run away from it. As this go around, GASHER'S Goons put a roam in Chess Club's way, and they said, okay, what roam? GASHER'S Goons said, what? And then it was suddenly gone. It just wasn't even a factor anymore. So, I suppose something GASHER'S Goons need to be weary of in the future going forward, as Chess Club, well, one, did a very good job at just setting up pinches, taking it from both sides of study/aviator/games. And also with the mechanical talent on that roster, GASHER'S Goons tried their best to play for those trades, and it worked in some cases, Gasher especially, helping bring the man count back, but they can only do so much to whittle it against the unstoppable force that seemed to be Chess Club in that round.
And I question a little bit of Gasher Goons extending that far. I mean, sending 2 people towards AVG isn't the biggest deal in the world, but Rice coming in to help probably wasn't the play. When you know your opponent isn't taking that hard breach, if you're just going to feed them picks like that, I mean, they're going to be happy to collect. You really got to make sure you hold on to whatever manpower you can before the attackers are forced to push in through whatever lines of sight effectively that you've opened for them. Because again, there's no Hibana here. There's no Maverick. Not even hard breach charges, because Lion used to have them and doesn't anymore. I think he's just got stuns and Claymore now. So if GASHER'S Goons are going to establish a roam, they better make sure that it's going to get at least kills, at least trade themselves out. And I don't know how I feel about still, you have 1 player in Aviator, 1 player in games, and nothing connecting them at all. I mean, Exile and A for sure, they're right next to each other, but without being close to Vault and no holes in this wall, they're basically on 2 separate islands.
There is Rice down below as well, but he too is a little bit isolated. And if he's still there, as I'm not sure he is or not, there's Bills and Snake both moving down below. There's Rice. You can see he's moved down to the bottom of red stairs, so not overstaying his welcome. Quickly trying to move backwards. There's still an opportunity where things could go bad. Things go bad for Snake to start off, though. This time he tries to go for the same play, peeking inside a bar, but there's Aether, who, well, just like Bills in the previous round, gets off his camera just in time, and he's able to get a kill in response. But there's Rice on the flank. He springs the trap. He gets one, almost two. There we go. Finally does. Doc to low HP, finished off soon after. But they just walk straight into Gunner inside of 90. He almost brings things back, and Mr. B does as well. How things have so collapsed. A lack of intel for the attack is doubled and tripled by GASHER'S Goons.
Okay. GASHER'S Goons just threw away the man advantage because Gunner decided he was going to walk into the hallway and walk down 90, even though his entire team is dying around him. And I mean, it ends up working for 2 kills. Now, Mr. B was so low HP that all Hat had to do was tap him at that range with the SMG-11. That leaves Gunner alone, but he's got 2 kills. We've seen Gunner pull out crazier stuff, but he's got to do it against Hat and Gasher, who nearly saved a 2v4 in the previous round. I don't know if they'll throw away a 2v1 like this. And there's Gasher holding the crossfire while Hat distracts Gunner. Perfect play from the last 2 players of the defense. Much better AVG roam. Even though it got hectic towards the mid-round, I think we should really focus on what happened before that. And that was Gasher's Goons getting, 3 kills.
Yes, and it was built off the back of that flank by Rice. He stayed down below inside of Art. Obviously, it was a little bit risky. I thought the attack might have spotted him, but maybe he played it loose enough to where he evaded those drones and didn't manage to get spotted. But it's still, a lot of the success of that was obviously Aether's first kill right there, just saving himself in the nick of time. But also there, Rice able to get both of those kills, switching to the pistol for the second one. That really made that roam successful because, as Harrison mentioned, the 2 players, Aether and Exile, even though Aether got a kill, were still a little bit stranded on an island, and there were plenty of Chess Club players to play for the trade. Without Rice on the flank and maybe some poor intel gathering by Chess Club, maybe it wouldn't have been the case, but in this case, it worked out.
You can also see as well from the beginning, like right after Aether got that kill on Snake, there was a Valkyrie camera watching them come up main stairs. What was Doc doing? Like, you got an IQ, dog. That Valcam should not be up that late into the round. I think it was in books, if I'm remembering correctly. So hopefully also, in the future we see Doc be a little bit more thorough with that IQ scanner. The GASHER'S Goons are going to go back to AVG. They started this map off with a bang thanks to a brilliant main stairs hold, with Rice starting things off actually just floor banging Snake, if I'm not mistaken, because Snake asked later, if there was a hole there, and Rice said no. He just shot through the floor and happened to catch the Zophia's head. Now, I don't imagine that's going to happen twice. So Chess Club are going to have a lot more utility to deal with that main stairs clear. But it actually looks like they might be changing their tune. Yeah, there's all spawning. They're going to do a complete east over clear.
Well, going for something different this go around instead of full sending it up main. Could be a good or bad thing, depending on your perspective, I suppose. We'll certainly go for a full clear this time. We saw Gunner trying to cut off flanks previously. He's the only one unaccounted for on this side of the map, or at least I didn't see him, so maybe he's on board, waiting to see if anybody will pull back from statuary. Snake, of course, tip of the spear. Surprise, surprise. He's already moved inside a bedroom, but there's Aether fully anticipating a play inside of books or outside. He has these reinforcements, so he doesn't need to worry about somebody taking a gunfire from that angle, but there we go. Gunner down below, going for a solo play, a creep up red stairs to still watch that flank. Snake takes the first fight, and he wins it. He's been involved in every entry duel so far, and I guess he's won 2 of them now out of the 2 he has lost. So dead even so far, and Chess Club will continue clearing out this top floor.
And that 1 kill onto Gasher has forced the roam back quite a bit. Now the nearest player to these attackers, I think, is positioned in 90. If I'm reading the silhouette right, that's Hat on Jaeger. Snake will also place a flank drone. Now 90, that's what we like to see. I mean, we've criticized in a couple of these rounds. Chess Clubs have had inadequate flank watch, not only in that previous trophy win from GASHER'S, but the first round from AVG as well. So hopefully they're a little bit more thorough. I mean, clearly they're being more thorough with that. Hopefully someone's actually watching those drones later into the round, as Snake will now abandon the building and likely go on that 90 rappel, attempting to pressure Hat back.
Bills will now try and find some intel in 90, and he does. Sees Hat standing by the bookcase. He'll take some damage, as one is now moved over to 90 window, but nothing really to write home about. for Chess Club, only did a little bit of damage and just pushed Hat further back to where he would have rotated anyway. But now they can get to the good part. Well, what would be the good part? If they ran any hard breaching, but they don't. So Vault Wall will remain solid, even though it's electrified, so you would have had to done some work to open it anyway. Same can be said for the double panel it leading into games, so they have to push through these doorways if they want any hope of winning this out. With study control in the hands of the defense, it will be a lot more difficult. Never mind, Gunner's just there.
Okay.
Cool. Don't know how he got there, but he's watching main stairs to see if Hat ends up rotating through. Rice playing close will likely be the difference maker then, combined with anybody C4ing or holding an angle behind bar. The first one goes in, getting a plant behind Vault. Rice almost peeks out, lands the shots. Instead he'll try to choke out Mr. B. He might have sent a smoke canister out with the very last breath in his lungs, and he does so. Doesn't end up killing the diffuser. It's instead Rice who ends up doing it later on. Never mind. A very confusing and hectic round coming through, but a Chess Club victory in the end.
So, beginning of that round, much better for Chess Club. Already the flank watch coming into play. During the mid-round, when they were forcing Hat back from 90, we could see Afer below, attempting to flank up Astro, but probably saw a drone and was forced back because we saw him rotating back towards main stairs at the execute phase. So, Gunner was already in study somehow, some way. Don't know how the hell he got there, but maybe rotated or maybe walked through the study balcony like while Hat was still rotating from 90. Either way, Gunner was there, got the kill onto Rice. And while Rice did, he did get the gas cannon shot before he died, he still missed the planter, and Snake's cover was the one that forced him back. Exile does get the refrag with the C4. There was another kill, I think, at the hands of Hat, but Gunner in study, cutting off positions, Snake getting refrags, and Bills creeping up 90 where none of the defense was watching, ends up winning Chess Club that round. So we're tied up 2-2 now. GASHER'S Goons are now 1-1 on both sites they have played. And they're going to try and find, they're finally going to try the tertiary. It'll be dining and kitchen, of course, with an extension upstairs and the Valkyrie Pulse combo. So a heck ton of intel here for the defense. 3 C4s on the board as well. I would be very disappointed in GASHER'S Goons if we don't see at least one of those explosive kills.
Oh, there's no way in hell we're seeing one.
Yeah.
We're not seeing one.
We're not seeing one?
No.
Why not?
It's always situations like this where it happens. It's always when there's like 18,000 C4s and they all somehow miss.
Man.
Gasher's actually going to kill Afer. Gasher doesn't even have a C4. But he's still going to kill him with the C4. Calling it right now. We'll see. Plenty of time for it to change. There's also Doc on the IQ, so if he's, done spotting Valk camps, he can also look at the floor, see like, hey guys, don't step there, you'll die. So hopefully he can make that happen. Afer on main stairs currently is about to find 2 drones. Only one spots it, but one is all that's needed. They know Afer is over around Aviator Games, and with everyone genuinely spawning over there, Gunner's not really focusing on it right now. He's down below, but there's still plenty of players who can move into position and try to pinch out the Valkyrie.
It looks like they don't care too much about that player upstairs. This could be a completely horizontal push, but never mind. Snake is going to start ascending. Nope, he changed his mind. He's just baiting me. Chess Club are continuing to drone through living room and library. Maybe keeping someone watching that staircase, ensuring Afer's not going to flank. They are completely ignoring upstairs. Yeah, already placing themselves in living room. I mean, there's no reinforcements dedicated to this, so well, except the ones in Memo. So while Chess Club do have this control, they're missing a key portion of this attack, and that's the crossfire into Memo. And I don't know how this is going to work. The lack of hard breach might hurt this a little bit.
It's worked for 2 rounds so far, so maybe they can still manage to eke something by with no hard breach on the board, but a horizontal clear is made much more difficult with the lack of it. But all they need is maybe 1 or 2 kills. Not early on in the round anymore, but still just an opening they might be able to find. There's only 2 players seemingly on the site right now, with the majority of the presence faced up above, but the first kill goes the way of GASHER'S Goons instead. Rice peeks out of the site, takes down Mr. B the Lion. Now Bills looking like he's trying to compensate for the loss of the Lion. Sitting just outside the kitchen doorway, sees the smoke toss a toxic canister, but he walks right into Gasher's crosshairs. Gasher's able to react in time. Hat 2. Now Gunner next to full. Doc, the only one left. 0 kills so far. He gets 1, but in all likelihood, impactless. Even if he doubles it onto Afer, what is he to do in all likelihood but hope to win a hopeless 1v3?
Yeah, this is going to be tough. GASHER'S Goons with pretty good site play. don't really know what the plan was there for Chess Club. It looked like they wanted to go downstairs and upstairs at the same time, but just force themselves through doorways, and it clearly did not work. I mean, you had Rice peeking out and getting one. Gasher, I guess, maybe baiting that guy on China with his gas grenade. And the two people who were upstairs didn't have a lot to work with, so they ended up walking into crossfires as well. Gasher's Goons, I mean, didn't really do much that round except hold where they should have held. I was more on Chess Club with a very questionable push and not really the right tools for the job, I'd say. But instead of AVG, Gasher's Goons are going to opt for Trophy instead. Once again, bringing that Valkyrie. This is, I think, the same lineup they had their their both go-arounds of this site, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it's the same. And yeah, I mean, if they go back to their AVG roam and it works again, this could be an easy 4-2 half. Because Chess Club, I don't know. I feel like so far the 2 rounds Chess Club has won have been more on Gasher's Goons having, you know, a big gaping hole to take advantage of, or having a misplay or something, rather than Chess Club playing tremendously well. I mean, still props to them for, you know, exploiting those mistakes, but I don't know. I feel like as long as Gasher's Goons, you know, plays this roam right, it should be a 4-2 half.
10 seconds left.
There's your problem. Are they going to play it right?
5 seconds.
Yeah. I got faith.
You just predicted them. You're biased.
Yeah.
You are literally being biased right now.
Yeah, you think the Dokkaebi is the play? They just dropped IQ.
Yeah, because Doc was searching for those Vault cams real hard on that round.
Hey, he did on the... a couple times. We saw a few pings on the Valk cams.
All right, fair enough. Well, they're not even clearing from that side this go around. Instead, they're all starting down below. It seems like opting instead not to go for a clear of that roam and just taking control down below. Again, they're not running hard breach, so I don't know what really that's going to do. Exile just peeks out, probably from study window, and takes down Gunner, who I think was on drone. Harrison, I'm correct.
That is true. And well, that's unfortunate for Chess Club. They lose an important set of nades. And, I mean, at the very least, they haven't lost their main spearhead, and they still have more nades. Bills from down below catches Exile sitting behind the bomb chassis. So the kill on Gunner does not go unanswered. Well done to Bills. But you still got to worry about Afer and Rice are holding downstairs. If Chess Club don't completely force them out and just try to push up Astro, that could be what does them in.
Well, ooh, another nade sent out. Could have been disastrous right there for Bills, but thankfully it doesn't really do much. Ooh, both Rice and Bills make some mistakes in that 1v1. But Bills has Afer to retreat to, and Bills a little bit lonely right now. He instead sends it up Astro stairs with Mr. B, and I guess catches Gasher off guard, but still hell of a risky play and takes a lot of damage from players inside of the site. There's Snake to compensate, Afer as well, and while Afer's got to do all the work, doesn't have that C4 anymore, he's got to move up one of these staircases and will clutch a 1v3 if he wants to secure Gasher's Goons a 4-2 half. Mr. B going down, but the Dokkaebi call going out. Knows that, well, they know Afer's position. If they can hear it, the ping comes just a little bit later. Afer's positioning comes just a little bit late. Mr. B goes down and wins the fight despite Afer being aware of the Lions' presence. It's an even half between these two teams.
Huh. I really thought Gasher's Goons was in a good position to win that. And yet they still lose. What was a really risky play into Astro from, who was that, Bills, I believe it was, actually ended up working out. And that was surprising. Gasher did not, I don't know if he didn't hear the Gon 6 or didn't notice it, or if he was just stuck in the reload and, you know, didn't have ammo and was kind of forced into it. But him dying in Astro and giving up control really opened the round for Chess Club. We saw them storm in immediately. So Rice tried to hit the deck, or I don't know if that was Rice or Hat. I think it was Hat. Hat tried to hit the deck as the smoke and hold the rotate, but was punished. And from there, I mean, every single site player, as soon as Astro control was lost, the site was lost, especially because you don't have Exile in statuary anymore as well. So Chess Club did a very good job of making that risky play work. And, you know, Mr. B gets the plant down. Round's over. Blah, blah, blah. Now, we have a very interesting pick, Carter. We've got a clash on the board. Mr. B playing that operator. We also have a Rooney. Surprising that Gasher's Goon didn't run the Rooney a single time. That entire defensive half.
Yeah, but it's all well and good. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go and talk about the clash. That's okay.
I don't want you to do that.
Why not?
Okay, you can talk. You can talk about Clash.
Where do you think he's gonna play?
Uh,
That's what I'm intrigued. Because where exactly is there a great spot for a Clash on
maybe
this
help
site?
the roam. I don't know.
Because I was thinking, like, where is he gonna play on site? Okay.
Defuse a bomb.
Plays an Astro. It's very dangerous. Got to deal with the window and the door. Very easy to just have utility dumped in your face. Could play at the brick store. It's a little bit safer, but what's he really gonna do? Seems like he's in sight right now, which again, I'm not too sure what that's going to do, but hey, I've been proven wrong before.
You have.
Many times.
In fact. Me, on the other hand,
Many times.
nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Mr. V
Oh, he's on the roam now.
is protecting the roam, or I guess holding a doorway to force the attackers into one direction to challenge this roam. Of course, as we saw from the previous attempt from GASHER'S Goons on their defense, there are footholds in the bar wall. Nade comes sailing in, and wow! Gunner will take a face full of shrapnel. That was incredible to watch from Mr. B's perspective. I am glad we got that. So Afer gets the first frag. That is a C4 off the board. That's a roamer dead, but Afer still can't quite make his way through this hallway because of those floor holes. He'll finally open up, you know, a little peek hole enough for him to look through and not lose the advantage. More of the wall gets opened up right next to Snake. He's getting pressured out. Flash will go in and he will deal or be dealt a lot of damage. Finally downed off from the control in 90, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be finished off soon, but not before Doc has an answer. He'll take out Hat. So there is some sort of a trade there. With Mr. B on Clash, if he keeps that shield up, this is essentially a 2v4 with a really big drone for the defense.
And what's often happens is the players surrounding that Clash, that big drone, tend to fall from other separate angles. Defense still has bedroom control, and Mr. B could play behind this deployable shield and, well, have his gun up, which is an option that most Clashes don't really have until it's too late and they're the last ones alive. So it might be the saving grace for both Mr. B and Chess Club in this round. Afer will send an 8 in, so it could destroy that shield in fairly short order, and in fact, I believe it does. Well, Mr. B just jumps out anyway right as it blows up, so Afer cuts him down pretty easily. They're aware of Doc's presence in bedroom, and that leaves Bills the only one left directly on the site. If he falls, the attack can then flood into Trophy, but he sees one repel into 90 and recover the diffuser at that. Exile clearly aware of the player's presence inside a bore, but before Bills loses his eyesight, he takes down Exile, making this a 2v3. 2v2 now. Doc rears his head. 2v1 as Bills can't be stopped. GASHER'S might be inside of the site, but it's not really much. Now that's something. He takes Doc down, but right as smoke crosses, GASHER hops down in response. He's trying to go from a different angle, but that will give a sound cue to Bills, and he'll activate the Aruni Gate in response. He'll send out a flashbang. Blowing up the Aruni Gate, but he's not picking up the diffuser. He's going for these kills, but Bills can hide behind the bomb chassis and force GASHER to play. And right as he strikes, GASHER is sprinting, gunned down. First round for the defense. All goes to the Chess Club.
Chess Club with a beautiful recovery from those last two players, something that I didn't expect, especially after the roam clear. GASHER'S Goons played that really well, catching Snake and Gunner, forcing that clash back, not really allowing Mr. B to do much. I mean, that was a 2-for-1 trade. They had time on their side. They killed the clash, but they maybe got a little too comfortable. Didn't play as together as they could have. Didn't have much info heading into the execute phase either. Not a single one of those players were hitting drones. They were all 4 men up, if I'm not mistaken. Exile first gets caught, even though he already knows there's someone there. I'm really confused as to why Rice was not with him when he pushed into Boar. Because, I mean, Exile got caught with a flash in his hand.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Rice was like 5 feet away, and there was no trade. Doc as well, held down on his own by the brick's doorway. And Afer was dusted. And that, I guess, was maybe the biggest point in the latter half of that attack, was just a lack of info on site for GASHER'S Goons, not knowing that both Doc and the smoke of Bills had repositioned. So, I already said, you know, Chess Club like to play like that. I mean, on the roams, they can play a bit ratty. When it comes to that anchor play, sometimes they push out into unexpected positions, and if you're not on top of your drone game, you're going to get punished for it.
5 seconds to go.
Well, hopefully the likely plethora of roamers we'll see on Chess Club's second defensive round will persuade them to go for a better droning strategy. I was going to say maybe that's not the case, but I see Gunner on Goyo is currently across the map on separate floors from the site, so that's my bad. Doc also moving down to the main stairs. Looks like he might be the main stairs player instead of the Jaeger that we often see. He'll still likely have a shotgun there for support, and after all, it's just a new operator, a new face to be the recipient of a hell of a lot of nades and utility from the attack. First one used goes to destroy barbed wire, so the Valkyrie knows that somebody is nearby and eager to push up. But Afer not getting ahead of himself, waiting for the rest of his team to gain some of this intel, though he has to be wary of any holes made from above, and also, now that he's gone into the library, he can't turn his back to Doc.
Now, there is no Wamai, so Doc doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of utility protecting this shield. I mean, we only see one ADS there, so effectively, I mean, Afer could clear this himself if he really wanted to. Mr. B's creating floor holes just to make it, you know, a little scarier for GASHER'S Goons to start to put in. There's the nade. It'll do damage to Doc and clear the shield, force him upwards. But there is another one that the attackers have to deal with. That's the smoke. Mr. B holding down the staircase with those canisters. He's also got a shield to fall back to, protecting him from Study as he actually moves into Study and is actively challenging the window from behind the desk. So the smoke, he's getting aggressive. He's getting active. Rice might be there for the cutoff, but he's not holding an aggressive enough angle. No, he lets the smoke slip by, but Afer and Hat, they both get a kill each. Sure, Gasher was downed, but that's where the Fink comes into play. He'll be rezzed from a distance with more HP than he would have had someone put their hands on him. And now it's a 3 versus 5 in favor of GASHER'S Goons. And as Gunner falls, the situation becomes even worse for the defense.
Yeah, Mr. B and Bills, if earlier some of them were getting active, now they really need to get active. Try and catch GASHER'S Goons lacking unanticipating and aggressive play by the defense. You can see that both Rice and Mr. B hoping that the other will peak first. Bill's put to low HP, so Mr. B's burden, well, never mind. I was going to say it becomes more and more so, but Bill's somehow on 1 HP outlived the full HP smoke. Yeah, he's not long for this world. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That man was a dead man long before that last bullet was shot. And GASHER'S Goons answer back and tie things up once again.
Much better job from GASHER'S Goons, whether it be the roam clear or a very close offsite hold. They look pretty good doing it. I mean, not only did they clear the room last round, but the main stairs, I mean, I really had no complaints about it at all. Not only did they get the frag off onto the shield, forcing that Valkyrie upstairs, but the remainder of their clear, I believe, also coming not only downstairs, but towards red as well. They got 2 kills for their troubles, got the Finka boost up, picked up that buck, and Gunner, who tried to flank in from below, was caught. Well done to GASHER'S Goons for controlling pretty much that every facet of that previous round. And now we're back tied up 4-4. Chess Club, once again, are swapping operators. We've got Doc onto Chonka now for AVG for just a little bit more delay power.
For what seemed to be the default strat for a long time, we actually haven't seen, or at least I haven't, in mainly casting SCS, a Tachanka on Aviator games in a little bit, at least one that I've casted. So a return to form, a returning strategy coming about. Main point here is, since just having your smoke be your denial on site can sometimes be a little bit tricky, especially with that vault wall. You can bank some Shumiki grenades off, maybe even use it on the bottom of main stairs, really just to take some of the pressure off that smoke and have some options to use either smoke canisters or Shumiki grenades earlier on in the round to waste time, which can be very good for a main stairs hold, since that's what GASHER'S Goons did previously, and, well, there's nobody spawning over by the master bedroom, a strategy they appear to be re-employing a second round.
I remember one of the first times we saw Chonka on this site?
It was with Afer, was it not?
Yeah. It was Afer playing it back on, was it SH? Yeah, back on SH. When they were Slaughterhouse. So Afer probably staring at Doc saying, you know, stealing my whole flow. Mr. B, once again, doesn't look like he's got too much coverage on this shield, just a single ADS. So Afer will be able to use his nade in due time. But this is what I like from Chess Club. I mean, they recognize that a big part of GASHER'S Goons' push was once they cleared that main stairs shield, they sent it up. And now they have a lot more coverage there. They've got not only smoke canisters, but the Shumika launcher, which burns many seconds if you use that fire smart enough. And already, fire's going out, but it's not from the Chonka, it's from the Goyo shield. And Doc is next up. He's got that launcher out, and as soon as he starts hearing sound cues on those stairs, I imagine he'll start flaming it and forcing the attack to wait for the fire to dissipate. But the nade goes up, and wow, Doc nearly dies before we even see him use his utility.
Mr. B switched positions from the Tachanka, and Doc's feeling like he probably got the raw end of the deal right there. Moved right into the shrapnel path of a nade, but he'll still hold this position and send some Shumika fire down onto the landing of main stairs. The floor opens up beneath him, and Doc, seemingly blissfully unaware of that fact, loses, well, not even a fight. He just dies to Gasher with his back turned. Opening pick untraded so far for GASHER'S Goons, but Mr. B will stalwartly hold main stairs despite that fact. He has no toxic canisters, though. They've already all been expended. He was relying on those Shumika grenades, so if he wants to waste time, he has to win that fight, and win that fight, he will not. A4 sees one, but Bills with, well, fighting a player with 1 HP, he's able to get that frag fairly easily. But now, Snake, he's able to bring it back. Even it up 3v3. What did they do, Harrison?
Rice was standing in the middle of the study door. I don't know what he was looking at, but it wasn't Snake. He forfeits the equalizer there. And Exile dies next to Gunner, who is on a roam, off-site, and Exile, for some reason, is alone by Boar instead of with his team. So now Hat and Gasher have to try and put something together. Hat will start to move into 90 with his teammate. Gunner is the one holding it, though, and they'll quickly dart away as soon as they, just as quickly as they came. The Jaeger begins to swing. He lands the headshot on Hat. That leaves Gasher alone in the 1 versus 3. He downs Bills. Isn't enough with only 15 seconds to play with. He'll open part of the wall, but there is a C4
Nice.
to meet him. And Chess Club take their second defensive round.
Seemed a little bit worrying once Doc died, I would say fairly quickly, but died without much of a contest from the attack.
No.
But beyond that, GASHER'S Goons able to storm up the main stairs. They get fairly far. Sure, you know, Afer loses that fight, but worse things have happened. But there, Snake getting aggressive and trying to retake study control was starting to be the undoing for GASHER'S Goons. As we often see from Chess Club, they might lose that early round aggression, but they say, no, you thought that was going to be the end? No, we're still going to get aggressive. We're going to get active. We're going to try to peek outside of the site. And GASHER'S Goons, as they tried to quickly scramble bodies up main stairs, Chess Club took advantage of that, not really indecision, but reframing, adjusting of the attack to the new position. They're able to swing out, get aggressive, and combined with utility and gunplay, end up winning the round. It's been back and forth, Harrison, so far. Not a single team has got 2 rounds in a row in this entire match.
Chess Club did on rounds 6 and 7.
Oh, they did. Well, that was 2 different halves. I'm
Not on the
counting
same
that.
side, yeah. Not in the same half, that is. But, I mean, we're going back to trophy. Chess Club did win this the first time with that clash, although the clash didn't really do too much. That's actually kind of the theme. That was the theme of AVG, too. They won on the round they brought Chanka, even though the Chanka didn't really do anything. But, maybe Mr. B is going to get a little more active here. We keep using the word active. Maybe Mr. B will be
I said
a little
mobile.
more influential here.
I said mobile a couple times.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, look at you.
I was just providing another synonym.
Guys are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
He'll press forward. I mean, he is Clash. But, I mean, like you said, maybe one of the reasons why hasn't been too influential is a lot of times we see it's the same deal as with Monty, right? It's like if you're staring down a Clash or a Monty, you're not staring at the Clash or the Monty, you're looking behind them and like pre-firing the sides. So playing behind a Clash could potentially be a death wish, you know, depending on how you're playing it. But Gunner does land the opening pick onto Afer, the top fragger for his team, and the Finka, who has played a pretty massive role in this match thus far, both with her boost and the nades. That's a big pick for GASHER'S Goons to lose.
Afer especially seemed to be the spearhead for that entry, and now they lose their other big aggressive player, and well, their main other entry. The Rice has been taking up some of that Zofia, at least in terms of the roles. It's Afer and Hat on those 2 entries, and they're both the first 2 players to go down for GASHER'S Goons, all in the first minute. Now Rice moving up those main stairs. There is Exile on 90, and well, there's nobody left in Aviator Games, so they can take that map control once they've probably droned it out. But this is still certainly beneficial for Chess Club. They can just sit in the site, use Mr. B, see if anybody is moving outside of statue or trophy, moving up through 90 if there's any cams left alive, though Chess Club aren't running that Valkyrie this go around, so the intel is a little bit reduced. Chess Club can just sit, bide their time, and it's incumbent on GASHER'S Goons to try and somehow find an opening, and they try to take Master Better more Astro, down 2 men against 5. That's a difficult proposition.
It looks like their main push is coming from the red landing side of things, with Rice peeking in through Boar. There's still a Rooney Gates up that he's going to have to waste utility on. There's still shields and Malusi Banshees and even a bulletproof cam from Doc left up in sight. Gasher is positioned down below away from his 2 teammates, but he hasn't really done anything with the upwards vertical just yet. Strangely enough, maybe looking to hit Astro late. Finally, he'll start to shoot upwards, but not really do much or find anything. Now we're sub 1 minute. GASHER'S Goons haven't made too much progress, except for, I guess, repositioning. The Clash still up as well, ready to delay this attack further. Gasher will continue to destroy from below, but as long as Mr. B sits here on concrete, well, there's nothing Gasher can do about it. That's indestructible. Sorry, GASHER'S Goons. This Clash is going to remain a thorn in your side for what looks to be the remainder of this round. And as long as Mr. B sits there, he can also call out that, hey, they're all sitting over by the statue door. Now, he will take a lot of damage thanks to Rice, but that's the last remaining concussive blast. That means that Clash will simply back off and continue to hold. Rice is looking to challenge in, but as Gunner finds Exile, make that a triple for him. I mean, the round just ends. Chess Club take round 10. GASHER'S Goons looked very limp in that round.
And I know you said technically round 6 and 7 were 2 rounds won in a row by Chess Club, but this is, in my opinion, the actual first time that an attacking team, or not attacking team, a team has won 2 rounds in a row on the same side. There is that little asterisk right there. So, good job by Chess Club. They've won their 2 primary sites, and now we will see Kitchen for the first time in the series, because, well, they can't go to Aviator Games and can't go to Trophy because they won it. Hopefully here, after seeing the success of that roam from Chess Club, now they're moving up to the top floor, obviously in a different position, but they'll still be holding that top floor with a similar mindset as they did moving and extending into Aviator Games. Could be difficult for GASHER'S Goons to try to overcome here, especially with how quickly their entry seemed to fall. Combine that with a pulse down below, that will be a new dimension to Chess Club's defense, and aiding that extension, there's a lot of factors not going the attack's way. Also, Harrison, this a little bit of non sequitur, but interestingly, oddly enough, Chess Club not run Valk pretty much at all, and that's the team I expected to run it the most.
Yeah. Really curious. I mean, they have been decently in the site, but actually much more in the site and site-centric than I expected from this team. So, you know, if you're not roaming too heavily, Valkyrie's not the biggest deal in the world. And they are bringing the Pulse here on Dining. Although the Valkyrie, I mean, it's another C4. I don't really know why you would bring the Legion over her. That's definitely an argument to be made. You also got Ella with a shield instead of Smoke or, again, Valkyrie. But I digress. We'll see how Chess Club work with this. I mean, Mr. B is... We've seen him run the Pulse Shotgun many times, especially on this site. He's actually done so much destruction, he only has 9 shotgun shells left.
That's a man doing his job.
He is. That's how you know that just proper construction has been done on the site, when your shotgun player is that low. It's always a beautiful thing when you see like a Smoke or a Mute call that they're out of mags on their shotgun.
Or maybe it's not, because it means they're the only one doing work. Oh, wait, hold up.
That too.
I was going to make a joke, but Bills is just creeping down through the basement right now, and it looks like Afer might be aware, but no, never mind. Just fires some shots, but more importantly, turns his back to the Aruni. Oh, well, and leaves. All right, never mind. Thought something bigger was going to happen, going to be honest.
I was really worried for a sec. I thought Bills was going to get another flank and kill Afer first for the second round in a row, but yeah, like you said, he just dipped. He's left. They don't want to deal with it. Now that GASHER'S Goons have, I think, open pantry, they will turn their attention to the top floor, where there isn't a whole lot of presence here from this defense. In fact, there might be none. No, there is no one roaming up by Master and by Trophy Stat. There is nothing here. So this is free for GASHER'S Goons. I mean, they have to be very wary of those C4s from below, but Gasher can just go to work.
One C4 has already been used. The last one's pre-placed, and there it went. All for naught. If you're relying on those C4s to deny that vertical pressure, your 2 chances have now failed, and you have to get aggressive if you want that to happen. Ooh, Hat just seems to face check Bills right there, but he gets the kill nonetheless. A second, there we go. Doc finally brings things back, but he's the only one left, so, well, there's really not much he can do at this point. He turns on Rice, a bit of a whiffed engagement by the Zofia there. There's 2 players storming down Astro, but he's looking all over the place in the exact opposite direction from where the attack is coming from. 6-5 right now. Just one more round. If GASHER'S Goons answer back 2 of Chess Clubs with 2 of their own, we're in overtime.
I was so ready to talk about, you know, how influential the vertical play or the lack thereof was going to be towards the round, and then Hat just pushed into China and killed 2 people. So I guess screw the vert. Gasher's goons don't need it. They simply walked into the site and found their frags. I mean, well done. You know, well done to make a play like that against a team like Chess Club. We are going back to AVG, though. And AVG did not look good for the attack on Chess Club's second attempt when they brought that Chonka. I mean, they killed the Chonka early. That was really all they had going for them. Main stairs took a long time. They ended up killing Mr. B, but I mean, like there were so many questionable things from that attack. Like, why is Exile alone in Boar while his other 2 teammates are main stairs?
Protect your bombs from being defused.
Why did Gasher's goons not do more from below? I mean, they have a buck.
Why are you hating right now?
Because I'm a hater. I was born a hater. I wake up early to be a hater.
You are literally hating right now.
Carter, how long have you known me?
Too long.
You should know that hating is one of my favorite pastimes.
Cover the location of a
I know.
I love hating.
That and sitting in your chair playing Clone Hero.
Yes, I actually haven't played Clone Hero in so long because it's not on
I'm
Serena's
so
computer.
proud of you right now.
Dude, I'm downloading it on Serena's computer.
No. It's the opposite of what I want.
All right, I won't. Dude, it's been...
Don't play
wow, it's
Clone
been
Hero. Get a job.
It's been over a month since I played Clone Hero. I'm going through
I'm very
withdrawal.
proud of you.
I'm
Good work.
shaking.
Quivering. Aviator Games, next up. It's gonna both Gasher's Goons and Chess Club's way, so thankfully if you're the attack, it's not certain. Well, it's never certain, but it's not unlikely that you could win this. They're going for the same main stairs clear they have every time, though, and Chess Club were able to adapt to that previously, and have the nice boon of Hat being on 1 HP, because Gunner, being Gunner, decided to peek a laundry doorway and put a lot of damage early on in the Yana. They have the Finka to mitigate parts of it, so they can hopefully get on with their main stairs clear like nothing ever happened. And even though they did lose, they did deal with the main stairs shield and the main stairs player fairly quickly.
I'll be looking to do that again. One criticism I do have for the main stairs clear, though, is I feel like the nade was never fast enough after the initial flash, so it always gave Mr. B time to fall back. But this time we see something different. He's got all 3 ADSs dedicated to this position, so might be a little bit harder here for Gasher's Goons to get him out. I mean, if you just place, Gasher or Exile there, they can just throw all 3 of their flashbangs, but Gasher's Goons might not be expectant of all of Jaeger's utility protecting this one shield. We'll see how they go in for the clear. It's taken much longer than it has in previous rounds. They're being much more cautious. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because of the added floor holes the defense have opened, but here's Gasher beginning to clear. They are aware of at least 2, but not the 3rd, and Mr. B swings out. Domes, Afer, there goes the Finka and the extra nades. There's a follow-up kill on Rice as well, and Chess Club start out beautifully.
There's also a clear miscalculation on the ADSs. They only sent out 2 flashes and lost an nade to an ADS, and then they waited so long to send the second, it also got caught by an ADS. Now, obviously, there's no main stairs player, so they can move on up, but the Tachanka can use so many of his Shumiki grenades that with that Doc can burn so much time, and even get aggressive if he wants to, and that's exactly what he'll do. Hope that there's a lapse of intel for Gasher's Goons, that he can catch them off guard, playing through the slits made in these shields. With Hat on low HP, even if the Tachanka goes 1 for 1, he could very easily take the Yana down. They're likely cognizant and wary of that fact, but never mind. Gasher peeks out just too late and loses a lot of HP in the process. A 3v2 now, and it's all staked on one player pushing up main and the other outside of study with only 30 seconds left.
Chess Club should easily be able to lock out the round here. Unless Gasher can do something from below, he'll slightly displace Gunner, but not be able to land any shots. There is no opening here for Exile just yet. He is stuck on this balcony. Bills will hold the prone hole by books. Gunner has now positioned himself in study, and here comes Exile, just full sprinting, looking the opposite way. Gunner got not only 1, but the 2nd as well, and Chess Club win map 1, 7-5.
Might have been closer than they would have liked on their map pick, but to be fair, this is also a map that Gasher's Goons won 7-2 last week, so 7-5 victory, I'm sure, will be perfectly fine for them moving into map number 2. Well done by Chess Club in that map. The overall good showing by Gasher's Goons as well. And while Coastline next up might be a map that should certainly be one Chess Club are fine going to, it is Gasher's Goons' pick, and with how narrowly they were able to keep it on their opponents, could have map 3 in the cards, Harrison.
Yeah, Coastline's going to be an interesting one. I mean, it is Chess Club. They do like aggression, but Gasher's Goons have also been a long time coastline team. They've liked this map for a while. I mean, I remember the Aqualix beat the Kansas City Pioneers on this map way back in Challenger League. So coastline should be rather interesting. But of course, before we cut to a break, we need to thank someone, Carter.
Who could it be? Who could it be, Harrison? I'm not gonna keep up the game. It's Mike and X for me. Do the thing. Throw it
I was gonna make a whole bit.
No bits.
I was gonna do the ad read because you did them earlier, but then you just took it.
I mean, you want to go? You want to thank?
No,
you want to get megaed up right now?
It's too late.
All right, fine. Well, I'll keep it short. Apparently, this is the stream of no funniness because of me. You want the sour? You want sour stuff? Go for the Mike and Ike sour mega mix. I think I said mega mix twice. That's how much I love it. There's also the normal mega mix with 10 flavors. Or if you're just chilling, you don't like either, it's totally fine. You're wrong, but it's totally fine. You just go for the original. The classic 5 fruity, chewy flavors to help you power up your game. You can't go wrong any way you cut it. So, thank you to Mike and Ike's, as always, for being a loyal sponsor to SCS and NerdStreet. Harrison, since apparently I'm the worst and cut you off when you wanted to show you Mike and Ike's love, do you have anything you want to say?
No. I do. I lied. I do have something I want to say, and that is Coastline is sure to be a banger. Thank you all for sticking with us through the first series and Map 1. Don't go anywhere. We will have Map 2 just after this break.
Have to get aggressive. Reed's looking for it, and he'll get it.
Have to push for the kill. Have to kill the Maluski.
Transfers on 1 on 3. What a passion! It's high noon. There's the 1v2 and 5-1/2 for Sir.
Welcome to the NerdStreet Winter Championships, featuring SCS6, a yearly open tournament series hosting the best players and teams North America has to offer, culminating in a community favorite, the Pro-Am. So let's discuss format. During the Winter Champs season, SCS6 will consist of 2 stages, where each stage begins with 2 open qualifiers. Once Stage 1 is complete, there will be an additional tournament offering 1 more qualification spot prior to Stage 2. Through participating in SCS6, players will acquire leaderboard points and cash prizing. The winning teams from Stage 1 and 2, as well as the additional tournament, will qualify for the Pro-Am. The top 2 teams from the leaderboard will also qualify. As we approach the end of the season, the final qualification spot will be determined through a last chance qualifier. The Grand Finals of the Winter Champs SCS6 will feature the return of the Pro-Am, where the top amateur teams have an opportunity to define their talent against the North American Pro League. But in the end, only one team will be crowned Winter Champs. Sign up today and make history.
Have to get aggressive. Reed's looking for it, and he'll get it.
Have to push for the kill. Have to kill the Maluski.
Transfers on 1 on 3. What a passion! It's high noon. There's the 1v2 and 5-1/2 for Sir.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed map number 1, it was a fairly close one between Chess Club and GASHER'S Goons, but Chess Club took their own map pick 7-5, and now we're going to Coast, which, if you thought Villa was exciting, well, not to overhype it, this map should be even better. I am Lynx. There's also Crow here if you like him. I don't.
What the heck?
Somebody
But I think we can both agree.
Somebody called you the
Something that-
master hater. I'm trying to one-up you.
Okay. Something that, we can certainly agree on is that we both like Coastline. Coastline's pretty cool. Villa, though, surprisingly, even though Gasher's Goons started out pretty well, it got out of hand very quickly. Chess Club came back. There were many rounds where it looked like Gasher's Goons were going to have the advantage. It looked like they were going to win. and Chess Club will just pull the round out. Gasher's Goons will make some fatal error, a lot of times being mispositioning or peeking one by one, and Chess Club would take advantage of that. I mean, once we see the stats after the replays, you'll see that 3 different Chess Club members had 10 kills. And here we go. It was Bills, Snake, and Gunner.
And
wow, Bills went 10 and 5. He only died in the rounds they lost.
yeah. And if you also take a look at the scoreboard, you'll see, confoundingly, it's actually Gasher's Goons going positive on the entry. Funny how that works out sometimes. But obviously both teams having a very solid game. A little bit more consistent, oddly enough, on Gasher's Goons than Chess Club. Maybe a little bit more one side with Bills taking a step above the rest, whereas everyone on Gasher's Goons all putting in a little bit of consistent of an effort, with Exile a little bit down below, but the man's on hard breach. It'd be like that sometimes. Respect the struggle. But on Coastline Harrison, everybody should be popping off. I expect double digits from everyone.
Literally everyone in the lobby.
Literally all 10 players in the lobby. If I see one player on 9 kills, I'm going to their house and I'm slapping them. Give him a good slap.
I guess that would technically be possible if like every round had like a team ace and every round came down to 1v1. It'd be really difficult to pull up. We have seen games where 4 out of 5 players have double digits.
We just saw a team tonight where 4 players all had 9 kills. It's a little bit different, but
close enough.
So it's 1 off for 4 of them.
That's 1 off. That's a whole 4 kills off. But I mean, Coastline's going to be, if you thought Villa was frag heavy, and Villa came down to a lot of just gunfights and who would win what gunfight where, and Coastline is about to take that to the next level. It's not exactly as, much of a ranked map as it was previously with the new map changes, but still tends to be quite frag heavy. As we head into the map, we can take a look at the bans. Previously, we had a Nomad ban from Gasher's Goons. Actually, they actually banned Nomad Wamai, which is a little bit interesting considering Flores was still up, not played by either team. Valkyrie was still up, only played by one team. But do you think we see Valkyrie up again for Coastline?
Surely not for
Zero
Coast, but
ban.
this
I don't see that every day.
this one was not one I expected, I will say. Not something I anticipated. I
Zero
imagine we'll
and
see
Nomad. Oh,
I mean, it's a Thatcher ban. I'm not going to pretend like it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Zero ban's a little unanticipated. Even if they're trying to counterban someone, I don't really know if Zero's the if it's the need to ban, if you will.
there's
Valkyrie will be banned, Harrison. I mean, I feel like you needed to take her off the board. On Coast especially, you needed her gone.
It also made sense with the fact that, I mean, Gasher's Goons had a 3-3 defensive half, and then Chess Club had a better defensive half without Valkyrie. Chess Club don't need it. Gasher's Goons do. Take it out. Makes sense. Cade.
Probably just not wanted to deal with that VIP wall, I guess.
0 Cade for Gasher's Goons. That's an odd one. Well, Cade isn't odd on other maps. It's odd for Coastline. 0 is never a ban we really see anywhere. I mean, the last time we saw 0 banned was what? Against Makers in their prime on Cafe?
Bro, I couldn't tell you.
SI quals or something?
Sure.
Was the last time I
Why
saw
not?
a 0 ban that like really mattered.
Oh my god, that was almost a year ago.
That was a long time ago. What is wrong with me? Why do I remember that?
Bro, you had a whole document going back to like year 1 where like teams didn't even really exist. Like,
I remember that.
this is your shtick. But I can't
remember.
believe that SI 2021 was almost a year ago.
Remember when
the
King George
qualifiers.
teamed with Mint?
I actually do. It's one of the
That
few
was
things I
wild.
know.
You remember Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy?
I've heard of him.
I miss Easy Peasy.
You just think his name is funny.
No, well, not only do I think his name was funny, but he also, like, his favorite weapon in the game was the French revolver. I remember he got a game-winning kill with it on border. It was epic. As Rook.
You know who else got a game or a round when he killed the French revolver?
Ashen.
Yeah.
Is Ashen Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy? I mean, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy was in Pro League, like,
Hey,
4 or 5 years ago. But
all
maybe.
I'm saying, I've been reading The Wheel of Time recently, which deals with prophesized heroes being reincarnated thousands of years after their death.
Did Easy Peasy die? I hope not.
I think
I
Easy
hope not.
Peasy I think Easy Peasy retired, and his competitive spirit might now
Oh,
reside in
that's
Ashen.
what you meant. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish the analogy.
I'm sorry. I got really scared for a sec. But if we want to look at this defense, it's on Kitchen. And they have people extended all over the place. You got one over towards security. You got GASHER'S, Pulse, and Sunrise. You got people upstairs.
Some dude
holding
in
by hookah in the
security.
hallway. But with Chess Club moving in as a unit, does that give the attack opportunities to pick off solo players with no trade?
I could have taken out the Malusi right there, but unfortunately, Gunner looks away just the wrong second, or the right second, if that Malusi is really feeling himself. Bills will send out a nade, playing it cautious, but Exile's already moved away, but he's moved right into Gunner's line of sight. He turns on Hat soon after, who will probably regret doing that at all. Gasher will try to send out a C4, but Mr. B has already entered into Sunrise, and right as we hit 2 minutes remaining, a minute into the round,
Okay.
a minute 05 seconds, Harrison, it is a 5v1, and I imagine that somebody in Gasher's Goons' comms is like, guys, what just happened?
I'll tell you what happened.
Yo, thank God they're getting the bomb down.
Remember when I said that Chess Club were, you know, they were pretty spread out on their roam? Is that going to give, you know, opportunities for Chess Club to go in, get kills with no trade?
The answer was yes.
Yeah. Gunner holding the lobby holes, knowing that Exile would rotate out of security, getting the first kill. Then just peeking Cool Vibes. And that wasn't even a trade attempt. He just peeked Cool Vibes and domed Hat. Gasher got caught with a C4 in his hand in Sunrise. Those last two defenders didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, Chess Club took an incredible round one. Gunner with a 4K. By the way, something I noticed at the beginning of the show that I don't know if I mentioned under the predictions. For me, I have in the predictions channel, I wrote down Chess Club. I don't really know why it said that I had predicted Gasher's Goons. I would like that mistake amended, please.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why you're...
What was that?
Oh,
What was that?
I
What was
that
that
tone
you
of voice.
said at the start of the show? What was it? I believe the exact quote was, ahem. I initially voted Chess Club, but then before the show, I got a feeling, so I switched to Gasher's Goons. I have nothing behind that, just a feeling. End quote. Remy, could you please bring that back up?
I think you're
And switch his
gaslighting
predictions
me.
back?
I think you're gaslighting me.
Remy?
I think...
Check the tape. Check the tape.
No, I think you're a fibber.
The American people know the truth, Harrison.
You're fibbing.
You will not lie under oath.
I'm not under oath.
I'm like Phoenix Wright right now. I'm like, objection!
Can't you technically, you can be under oath, like, you can swear oath under any book, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's not, you can do it.
Dude.
I could do it
Ooh.
on like a copy of Aragon if I wanted to.
That's pretty funny. I want to swear oath under Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
We
Chess
did it
Club are
again.
continuing to clear
Yeah.
through the map. There's a reinforcement and a couple head holes, but there's no one actually in kitchen. And Chess Club have now almost fully taken that control. Rice is very lightly challenging. Or just a hint of aggression, a zest, if you will. Rice immediately falls back into Sunrise bars as Chess Club continue their full horizontal map clear. But Rice does end up getting the first kill. It's Gunner. Previously got a 4K, but will do nothing in this round as Gasher. Okay, Gasher does that and gives up the man advantage. Wow. Okay, Rice just... That
Sounded
had to have been
sparky.
disgusting.
I'm sure it was. It sounded sparky. I'm disgusted, and I only heard it. Gasher's Goons, they're not disgusted. They're actually quite jubilant at their 3v4 right now. But I say that, Chess Club are in Blue Bar, which is the site. So
There's no one in lobby from the defense.
they'll have to deal with that. Hopefully there's a C4 coming out soon. Nope, there's not. Nope, there's not. Never mind. They actually peeked out and killed him.
Exile just walked in. Where's the cover from the doorway? What?
The Finka was watching the hatch drop.
Ah, she was distracted.
Which, to be fair, somebody did drop. And he
You're
did
telling
kill
me
him.
it was a perfect timing play from Gasher's Goons between the hatch drop and Exile pushing in. I actually,
Yes.
with the timing, it could very well might have been.
Yes.
But well done to Gasher's Goons. I mean, the beginning of that round, or the beginning of the round was pretty good. Rice landing 2 kills. The mid round was a little bit concerning with the attackers just kind of sneaking into blue bar. And then the defenders just walked back in and retook for virtually free. So well done to Gasher's Goons, not letting us slip out of control. But we're back upstairs. Actually, no, we're not back upstairs. We're upstairs for the first time. And Gasher's bringing out Thunderbird. But they don't really have a whole lot of roamers. Maybe the Thunderbird is going to be an anchor Thunderbird? That'd be different.
The worst kind of Thunderbird. The anchor Thunderbird.
I mean, I guess Gasher and Hat could roam and play for C4s.
Thunderbird's versatile in that way.
Yeah, she has a 3-speed. Forget about that a lot.
How could you forget that?
So sorry.
Well, it'll certainly help them on hookah, especially if they face a lot of pressure. Say on that. Actually, is there a Kona station on the hookah door or by the hookah shield? I don't think there is. So, never mind. Not there. Anywhere else though. If you're playing somewhere else inside of the site, you'll be happy to get healed up. Counter the presence of the Finka on the attack. Gunner though has quickly gotten control of that hookah double window, and clearly Chess Club trying to continue the pattern of very quick executes and takes on, well, any site for Coastline.
I was right. Hat and Gasher are downstairs. I don't know where Afer is. Where is Jaeger? Wow. Okay, Exile just got demolished by a frag grenade. He is yet to be picked up. Hat takes a lot of damage as well. The Maestro looks pretty irrecoverable. There's Gunner finishing him off with yet another nade. Now the attack have the advantage, both in man count and HP. There's the utility burn. Wow! Hat will just eat that impact to the face and die because he was so low HP. Now it's a 2-man advantage here for the attackers, looking to try and push in through hookah. We've got plenty of control. Still that man on the double window. Rice attempting to retake back in, gets cut down, but Afer lands 2. Flank going down from Doc is thwarted by the C4 of Gasher. We're back to even man count, but Gasher trying to come up the stairs is under watch. Snake, with his eye trained on the staircase, is waiting and daring Gasher to push up. Bills now recovers the diffuser and starts this plant attempt once again. Gasher and Afer could duo up here and play for the trade against the Zofia, but Gasher makes it up past him, but both get cut down by Snake. The Zofia winning all of her fights, and Gasher's Goons still come away with the round. Sorry, not Gasher's Goons. I don't know why I said that. Chess Club still come away with the round.
And Harrison, is there really a lot to say about Chess Club right there? They quickly moved to start, well, cutting off the site. You have Gunner sitting on that big window rappel. Obviously, Hat eats that lifeline. That's unlucky. But once they got those 2 kills, well, it didn't seem like there was much to do in Chess Club's mind. They said, okay, we've got presence on the hookah window. We've taken out some of the players outside of hookah. Gunner's landed a nade on somebody playing inside of billiards. We've already done a lot of the hard work and the heavy lifting you need to do on Coastline fairly quickly into the round. Screw it. We'll just send it in. Doc moves on in. Sure, some bodies fall, and it ends up going to a 2v2, but it forced the remaining 2 defenders for Gasher's Goons to rotate up and right into the crosshairs of the attack, and, well, kind of the opposite situation that many attacks face. If you're just sending 2 bodies up Cool Vibe stairs, it's likely going to be 2 of some kind of player, attacker or defender, watching.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Gasher's Goons nearly had a brilliant recovery, but I was playing for the trade up Cool Vibes. Simply not the play when you're staring down 150 bullets. Gasher's Goons will try hookah again, though, with the exact same operator lineup. Not sure where those ADSs were placed either, because they did nothing to protect Exile. There's 2 by hookah. Don't know where the third... Okay, the third is now covering Exile. I don't know if maybe that was there before. Maybe it just very quickly ate up the... whatever burn was there, but we'll see if the Maestro lives a little bit longer. I mean, he was a big linchpin in that site. It really opened up billiards for the attack once they moved in through hookah as well. Gunner's going to start downstairs, though, and he could easily avoid those ADSs from below. That actually might be what happened previously, too, because I think you can nade that spot from the blue window. Gasher is in office, actively being droned, and here comes Gunner.
All right.
Just walking in. Well, down go your nades. Down goes the player who killed that Maestro in the previous round. good start for Gasher's Goons, I guess.
And it seems a little bit silly, especially with the presence of, well, all right, Gasher manages to get away. Might almost throws his escape right in his own face, but he does escape, so all good in the end. Is a little bit curious that Gunner just decided to solo play like that, especially with not one, but two players outside the office door. Seemed like they could have played that pinch a little bit better and actually get a trade, and not only did they not get it, Snake also took some damage on a separate side of the map, so everything that went well for Chess Club previously has now been completely eliminated because of, well, just a poor implementation of a perfectly sound strategy.
Gunner now as well has been involved in every opening engagement in the first 4 rounds so far, just like Snake was in the previous map. And Deja Vu, they're 2-2. Or, well, Gunner is 2-2, just like Snake was in the first 4 rounds. Exile, eyes trained on the rappel, will miss a couple shots, but back off unscathed. Chess Club have still yet to climb back any advantage so far. Gasher is still downstairs, currently being hunted down. He'll take a little bit of damage and immediately backtrack his way upstairs, maybe looking to get healed up or stay over towards the penthouse side of things and wait for a late flank. Up comes Snake. Pre-fire lands perfectly on Rice's forehead. A for trays, but soon falls as well. Now it's a 3-on-3. Up comes Hat, but no! He can't make it happen! Neither of the players up Cool Vibes die. Now Exile's got to get aggressive and hold that hookah doorway, but someone's planting just to his left. He'll tag up Bills. Gasher C4, it lands on the planter, but now he's alone in the 1 versus 2. He'll blindside Snake for his 3rd kill, and now has to stare down the Finka. She's got 1 charge left. We'll push in before it goes through. He evades the Thunderbird for now. Gasher jumping through the rotate, though, reveals his position, and Bills wins the fight. Gasher, I don't know why he rotated back into hookah. He traps himself in a corner and gives up the round.
I mean, based on the start, I'm honestly amazed it resulted in a Chess Club victory. I mean, it wasn't... No, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, that clear of Gasher was just poor. I don't really know what the plan was there. Gunner was like, I've got it. I'm Gunner. And, well, he is Gunner. That is true. But he still died like a fool. And nobody was able to cut off his rotate. Then you have Snake, who's able to get that kill on to the smoke, and things start moving down, but they're still even. But it really starts where Hat vaults over, trying to get aggressive on the player Cool Vibes, anticipating that perhaps there was only one player there, and he might be able to make a hero play to save the round. But even then, he puts himself into a very compromising position, and when he finds there's 2 bodies pushing up those stairs, well, vaulting over already puts you in a compromised position. But when you've got 2 guns that now flick onto you, it's a much different story. Both players making up Cool Vibes, scathed but still intact. And with one player also starting to make progress into the side as well. Sure, it came down to a 1v1, but still, it was a very good job by Chess Club to both bring it back by their own skill and to capitalize off of some of the holes made in real time by Gasher's Goons.
Yeah, Hat! Why did you do that, Hat? Why did you vault face? Anyway, crying aside. We're back on Double Bar. This is the only site that Gasher's Goons has won thus far, in large part to Rice landing a nasty 2-piece with the SMG-11, actually being his only 2 kills so far.
Let's go.
They're set up pretty similarly, if I'm not mistaken. Chess Club, I can't quite see where they're clearing from. I mean, the absence of bodies on that side of the building probably means they're going for kitchen again. Yeah, 2 people stacked outside service. Gasher shot. Actually, not even a drone. There we go. Gasher shoots a drone and runs. So, you know, makes sense that he doesn't want to fully challenge those people in service.
Well, right as I started talking, I yawned. That's not a reflection on the quality of game. That's just
my bad.
Oh, been a day. Ooh, Hat. Great opportunity right there. Even the attack even Z-pinged that hole made above, and still Doc was a little bit careless walking under it, but thankfully Hat had the DMR and did not have the best angle on Doc down below.
He wins if he has the Roni. Hot take.
True, he does win it if he has the Roni. He also wins it if he's a better player. No, I'm just kidding. I was joking. That was a meme. I love Hat. But thankfully, that does mean that for Chess Club, at least, that they've worked their way up through kitchen. They can start applying some more immediate pressure onto the players inside of Sunrise. No vertical control just yet, so Chess Club want to go for that. They do have half the round, but they do need to make a bit of an active attempt to go for it. They are burning some nice utility. Toxic Canister's already going out, but it's strictly a horizontal clear for right now. That means the Chess Club, they have to hope they can get one or two of these picks. They get the first. Snake moving up the hallway finds one, but Gasher equally answers back. Bill's inside a kitchen, who sat there the entire round, now falls, and we're back to equilibrium, though slightly and now majorly favoring Chess Club, especially if he cuts down Aether, and they've taken back the lead.
Oh no, Gasher doesn't land the kill. Luckily, Hat is there to at least refrag, but it's a 2 versus 3, and Rice is very low on HP. Hat's gotta do some work with this DMR. He was up above earlier. Not quite sure if he's come back to sight just yet. He's over towards Cool Vibes. He's trying to protect Rice's back as Gunner pushes from Mudroom. Rice only has 1 gas canister to his name as well, and he will let that rip towards Mud, stunting Gunner's progress, at least for now. But Rice is still peeking the hallway, and I can't quite understand why. Now it's just Hat. He'll whiff on the Zofia. He'll whiff even a little bit more and gift the fight over to Snake. Chess Club take round number 5, and it is a 4-1/2 so far.
Seemed like there were opportunities there to slow down the entry. Hat up above, trying to get a kill through the floor. Gasher offsite, also still trying to make something happen. And yet it never really seemed to manifest for Chess Club beyond the couple kills admittedly achieved by Gasher, even though he did whiff towards the end, unfortunately. Actually, he only got 1 kill. Thinking about it now. He whiffed on the second, so... But Gasher still did some good work early on, evened it up 4-4, but so much progress had already been made by Chess Club. They were burning utility with some presence inside a Mudroom. The bodies in kitchen helped make things a little bit easier, just putting some pressure on the players in Sunrise. Even when Gasher tried to move over, take down the players sitting inside a main lobby in the hallway, he whiffed those shots, and that could have been kind of like Hat vaulting over the railing, though a little bit more sensible. That could have been the game-winning play. He gets a kill. He can just hang out, try to play for his life, and waste a lot more time. But once he falls and it's a 4v2, Gasher's Goons are left to try and make those plays, like Rice peeking the hallway just to try to bring the man count back. But already, like we've seen a couple times throughout this entire series, many times, once the offsite presence falls, it seems like Chess Club are perfectly fine to just start pushing the site.
Oh, and we're back on Hookah. We're back on Hookah. Gasher's Goons have lost this
Let's
site
go.
twice already. And we're going Hookah again. Why not go Kitchen?
Why not go blue?
Gunner freaking 4K, dude.
Try it again.
Like, you lost Kitchen to a hero play. There's nothing, strategically
To be fair,
awful.
that hero play was their first round.
All right, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this, about going Hookah again. With the same operator lineup and probably the same strategy. I mean, Gasher in office, Exile and Cocktail. Hat downstairs for now. Probably going to rotate up Cool Vibes mid-round. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Gasher's going to get another freebie on Gunner.
Oh,
wow, okay,
wait.
Chess Club are
Okay.
already in Aqua.
Okay, so they're just going for the same take they did previously, which is have Gunner on the double window. He gets a kill there, but A for unread in luggage makes things a lot more difficult, and it's a 2v3. They got a 1v3 with Mr. B being the only one left. Might be the same strat from Gasher's Goons, but clearly Chess Club were a little bit overconfident with their take, a little bit lackluster on their drone work, not watching luggage, and that's the beginning of where things started to fall for this team. Now, I mean, Harrison, I don't think Mr. B's clutching the 1v3, but is there hope?
If Gasher's Goons gives away pick, maybe. Gives away picks, multiple. I mean, he's got a minute 50. I was going to say, I mean, I don't understand why Gasher's Goons is playing here again. It's the same strategy. If Chess Club just keep taking like they've been, they probably have a pretty good chance of winning this round. And then they didn't. They tried to be different. And what happens when you're different? You get killed. No, I'm just kidding. But Chess Club just tried to get cute with it. And obviously didn't work. And Rice is just going to put Mr. B out of his poor British misery.
You look like a fool now, Harrison. Oh, they're going to Hookah. The same lineup.
Yeah, well, maybe Chess Club shouldn't have made a blunder.
To be fair, it wasn't exactly...
That was a chess reference.
I mean, it was a blunder.
That was a double red exclamation point play.
But that's true. But it wasn't a complete failure in the strategy. It was a failure in the implementation. I mean, they won the first Hookah round doing that. Like, they just did the exact same thing. It's just this go-around, there was a blunder. Harrison is not incorrect there. But it wasn't with the overall strategic design. It was just a little bit of laziness. not having a flank drone in luggage, or if there was, nobody was watching it. Afer gets a 2-piece there. Now everyone on the attack is focused on that position. The 1-kill Gunner's got is now seemingly a little bit meaningless, and it gives everyone on the site time to consolidate and start putting pressure on the rest of the Aqua players and Gunner on the repel. That's all done. Chess Club now get to go to the defense. A 4-2 half is still not at all terrible on coastline attack. And as we saw here, well, on opposite sides, Chess Club still managed to start running a... Actually, I'm thinking of the Noob Slayers game. Never mind. I was capping.
It all just blurs together, huh?
We've had 2 villas and 2 coastlines tonight, my friends.
That's true.
It's actually been a palindrome. We had coastline, villa, villa, coastline.
Isn't it funny that palindrome isn't a palindrome? At all. There's actually no repeating letters in palindrome.
It's like how there's no I in team.
It's like how there's an L, there's an S in Lisp. Or an R
You know what
in
there is in team,
eroticism.
though? There's an ME.
There is. There's meat.
What?
There's meat. There's meat in team. Afer,
Shut up.
Afer is walking in his Osa, staring down Gunner. Gunner's probably like, "Alright, what the hell is this?" Every time he tries to shoot at Afer's feet, Afer puts the shield down. That's really funny. This is. Can we just watch this happen? This is incredibly entertaining.
I don't think we even need to commentate this. I think we can just kind of chill for a bit.
Just let it
I feel
speak
like,
for itself.
Yeah, I feel like it does speak for itself. Connor is just like, no! Go away! Stop!
I mean, he's got Bills in to help now. Okay, so here's the thing, though. If Afer pushes too far in, Bills is just going to whip an impact at him, and then Afer is dead. So, Afer could very well just be a dead man walking at this point. I mean, there you go. Impact out. It just dealt a hell of a lot of damage to Afer. But the second impact misses. But Afer's feet get... Okay, Afer's down.
He gets the feet!
This is why Osa is not good. And Bills will hop off the bar and dome Exile on the window. Gunner follows up on a hat. Every trade attempt that GASHER'S Goons were trying to put together is thwarted by these 2 Sunrise players. We spent a minute 25 watching an Osa walk around at Sunrise Bar, and all that's amounted it has now been 3 deaths for the attack.
Oh, this is the greatest round I've ever seen. Now the Osa finally dies, and it's looking like to be Chess Club's second flawless round. No, it is Chess Club's second flawless round. That is round of the entire stage for me. That is my favorite round.
Can that be the Mike
we've
and
had.
Ike play of the day? Just like
Can that
Afer
please be
jiggling
the
around with the
can
shield
that
before
please
getting
be the
down.
Mike and Ike play of the
And
day?
then 2 GASHER'S Goons players immediately dying. Mike and Ike play of the day.
I had a moment like this on during the Noob Slayers game where like the entire round happened in one area and I literally forgot what side it was. That just happened. What side was that? Was that
was kitchen.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand quite yet why Osa sucks, rather that
I don't think
Osa,
no, she doesn't suck.
that Osa is currently not been figured out completely yet. That is Exhibit A.
That's accurate.
That is Exhibit A. Exhibit B was Poison's use of Osa yesterday, also on Coastline.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
I was asleep.
Poison tried pretty much the same thing, got impacted to the face, and then body shotted by the same person. It was just a lesion in office. And there was another point where he like didn't get killed doing that, but like he put the shield. They were trying to clear. He put the shield down in Mudroom, and then was like, "Nah, I can't do anything with this," and then just left the shield there and went to the other side of the map.
Clearly the solution is to make the Osa shield immune to explosives.
Ah, yes. Perfect.
Get me in the balance room.
Yeah.
Get me in there.
Sure.
Nah, that's a joke. That was ironic. Next side up is Hookah. We have a Mira on Hookah, which is not something I've seen in quite a while.
No.
Mostly because Mira's banned, so that's one. But
Also, Mira is usually used for
Penthouse.
kitchen and penthouse, yeah.
No, well, we said
Or
two
like a
different
theater
things.
extension.
Which,
Speaking of, there's a theater. Oh, okay, yeah, that's just why. Okay, I didn't see. Yeah, we didn't see her place down the Miras, but yeah, there's one by theater, one by VIP. So if GASHER'S Goons come from VIP and penthouse, they're gonna have a bad time. But it looks like they're just not going to do that.
Afer's still sticking with the Osa. I respect it. However, You can see, okay, Gunnar might lose his life here. It's a little bit risky. You can see Afer not at all fooled by what Gunnar is pulling right now inside of Hookah. He fires some shots over that way. Snake will reveal himself because the E1D and walks right into Hat's crosshairs. Unfortunate timing and positioning from Snake, I suppose, but pretty free opening kill for GASHER'S Goons.
It is on Ella, though. Not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, Snake is 12-4. He's got 3.0 KD, so
say.
In terms of fragging, it's a pretty good kill. But in terms of utility, doesn't really matter too much unless he still had stuff in the pocket. So, GASHER'S going to start off, decently. I mean, they could have probably left that Ella downstairs and she wouldn't have done anything for the entire round, but I digress. Gunnar falling back out of Hookah, doesn't take any damage. He gets back to his shield scot-free, and Rice is now on the floor. I don't know who downed him, but it's outside of Hookah Valk. Luckily, there's the Finka, so he'll be rezzed in short order. It seems like GASHER'S Goons, the main plant, is going to come inside of Hookah. Not much pressure over towards the Aqua side of things. And Rice, well, he gets very easily finished off by Gunnar there.
It's one player on blue bar, though, and Gunnar's about to fall to the very same maneuver he pulled all the way back in round number 1. But here we go. Never mind. Gasher killed his teammate from the top ropes. Gasher commits friendly fire. Fratricide with a minute remaining. Can't believe it. Now Hat gets one. Gunnar sends out a C4. Thankfully, doesn't find anything. We're still even despite the TK. Gunner's taking a position on cool vibes, but he smokes Hat off the face of the earth. Please don't have this round decided by the fact that Gasher killed his teammate. Exile's trying his best to stop that fate from happening and the clowning to commence. But the defense right now seem to have the upper hand. Exile in the building, but on, wait. No, on Repel, sorry. Exile on Repel on 1 HP. Gasher outside of the building with an Aruni gate separating his way, and no way to clear it right now, as he is out of drones and out of nades. Only Exile can do that. And if he's going to rotate over, which he is, that will take time to do. Instead, they'll go down below, I guess chalk everything up for a late push. Instead, Exile will move above. He's on the Hookah balcony. Gasher trying to catch them on guard. There is one player, Vase. He might be able to get this frag if Gunnar is not weary. If he's not being careful, he'll finally swing, but Gunnar takes him down. And Bills finishes off the next one soon after. Match point for Chess Club. 1 round away, separating them from playoffs.
Man, I saw Afer, bottom cool vibes, whip out the shield, and I was like, yes.
You know, for Gasher, though, gotta admit, that was a hell of a nade.
It was a very good nade, but I was, man, I mean, like I said during the round, I was so excited to watch Afer crouch walk up cool vibes with an Osa shield out. And then it was ripped away from me by Gasher. So, GASHER'S Goons didn't look great on Villa. They looked okay, There were issues here and there. They ended up losing the map. They didn't look great. They didn't look terrible. Here they don't look good. Coastline is clearly not the play right now for this team. They're still bringing Osa.
Yeah, respect the persistence.
Maybe it'll do something on Blue Bar.
You know, that was the trait Ray Kroc, the founder of air quotes founder of McDonald's, emphasizes the most important trait for a person to have.
Perseverance.
Persistence, yes.
Tenacity.
Now, I don't think Ray Kroc ever played Osa on Coastline, but I wonder what his thoughts would be on this situation.
Dude, if Afer dies without doing anything on Osa again, I might have to quote Vaz.
Quote who?
Vaz from Far Cry 3.
I want to be honest, somebody shot right as you said that. I didn't hear it.
Oh. Vaz from Far Cry 3.
Oh, Voss. I don't do that. That quote's overplayed.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, I suppose.
He's putting it in spawn.
Afer's playing
Dude,
so...
Osa, it's not even Afer. Every time I've seen Osa get played, it's so funny to watch.
Afer's like the U.S.'s trade policy during the early Great Depression.
Wow.
Protectionist.
That was a joke. I wonder who in Twitch chat is gonna get that.
Bro, Afer like the Smoot Holly tariff right now. Anyway, sorry about that.
Dude, I think Afer's probably gonna be more like the Maginot line.
Perhaps.
Built for protection, but not too effective.
Well,
What?
a minute in, and Harrison and I
Oh,
have
he's
not
droning.
done our jobs, so let's get back on that. It's Blue Bar Sunrise defense, as you can see from Chess Club, and Gasher's going to trying to figure out, okay, what the hell do we do here? Made some progress, opened up the wall leading from Mudroom into the corner of Sunrise. They've also got the opening pick. Mr. B damaged early on, falls to exile. Right now, Bills is trying to get the hell out of Dodge, accidentally walks it and rams through the hookah wall. He'll instead course correct and go back downstairs.
Mr. B got taken out very early on as well. Mr. B on Vigil. Side I'm not used to seeing. And, oh.
All right, we saw him do something.
Loading new mag.
All right, Gunner gets the refrag. Wow, that was funny. That was comedy right there. But Afer got a kill on the Osa. The shield, although I guess not really by the grace of the shield. There's more like a good bait from the shield. Rice gets one before his refrag by Bills. Gasher smacks the
Gasher's
wall.
hitting his demons.
Now it's a 2 versus 3. Snake and Bills left to clutch up, but they're doing pretty well for themselves. Snake is on 3.0 KD, 12 and 4 lest we forget. Curiously enough, they put him on the smoke with that hell of a performance. Gasher's Goons have 50 seconds to push, and the diffuser is forfeited in Mudroom, at least for now. Now, Snake has run out of gas. He's out. No more babes. And Afer gets a double kill. Playing on cool vibes with his shield. There we go. The Osa. It came into play. It took 3 rounds, but we finally see it.
Remember when I said persistence is key? I knew it was up. I was a believer.
Yeah.
I know what's happening. Clearly, the Osa was the defining feature of that round. To be fair, I did get a 3K, so like,
3 kills,
you know.
yeah. Did get a majority of the kills.
Yes.
Actually, all from that one position. Afer moved a total of like 10 feet for those 3 kills.
But also at the same time, Gasher's Goons did a good job of just pushing the roam back to site. Obviously, they got to kill him to be, but they successfully pushed the defenders down and did a very good job at just working picks down below on the site. And Afer was there to make sure that nobody could flank up cool vibes. That was the use of the Osa we were looking for, and that made the difference. But overall, it was just a solid roam clear by Gasher's Goons. It was the starting point.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Now, do Gasher's Goons have the wherewithal to take an additional 3 consecutive rounds?
Mayhaps.
Maybe. Now, something we got to note. You know, we're on Kitchen. Chess Club still on the defense. Snake is 12 and 5, and he's on Alibi. And we have seen Snake do some mystical and magical things with the MX4 Storm. I feel like this is probably gonna be the hardest thing about this defense to overcome if Snake plays, you know, like we know he can on one of his favorite operators. Doc is also on Bandit. I guess in order to stop the VIP, well, yeah, they don't have a cage, so they're gonna use Bandit
Objective is to defuse a bomb.
on Coast. A little bit odd. They've still got this Mira as well. And this is one of Mira's most popular sites on this map. I think there's one on that Kitchen Rotate. Not quite sure where the second one's going to go, though, for Mr. B. Maybe Kegs? All right.
Oh, well, might not matter in the end.
Okay.
Stunner gets his first pick and somehow gets away. Almost gets a second through the wall, but Afer quickly moving on in to put the kibosh on that. Gets a kill. Hat 2. And look at this. Another Afer OSHA shield.
Yeah.
We love it.
Getting that
Harrison
cut off.
Harrison and I are loving it. We are big fans of what's going on right now. Snake, unfortunately, because of the loss of Gunner and Bills, I suppose now, faces a lot of pressure. And in response, he'll say, all right, you can have hookah. You can have my deployable shield. But the top floor? No. I'm staying in VIP for now.
I thought, you know, like your McDonald's reference earlier. We're loving it.
That's true. We
And
are
now,
loving it.
Gasher's Goons. They control a hookah. Not quite the top floor just yet, as you still have Snake tucked in VIP, who will likely be droned out shortly. That is, if they actually send their drones into VIP, which they are not doing for the meantime. They are leaving this Alibi to his own devices right now. He's repositioned in Hall of Fame. Gasher's Goons have slowed down significantly since the beginning of this round. And I mean, can you blame them? It's a 4 versus 3. They do not want to allow Chess Club to retake this man advantage and climb themselves back into this round like they did so many times on Villa. You got someone posted outside the kitchen window. It's Gasher. I guess Chess Club Gasher's Goons are completely ignoring any semblance of vertical play. And that means, I mean, Snake has a couple holes from above, you know. You could easily stomp on Gasher. if need be, from that window. Or if that's where the plant is coming, you could easily deny it from above. It's actually Hat carrying this diffuser. He's got to worry about the floor hole, I believe, being held from Doc, but instead he will simply rush on in, and A4 team kills him. And actually gets Mr. B through the smoke. I don't know what the hell's going on in this round anymore. Gasher is, okay, gonna do that.
No.
A4 at least gets the refrag, but Snake has to come back down. Cool vibes. Diffuser's been dropped. A4 recovers it. He can plant behind a shield. Snake doesn't have any impacts. Instead, he's just gonna plant right in the open. Maybe trying to figure out where the alibi is going to come from before he puts it down. But now he sees the gun barrel of that alibi for a second. He can't land the shots just yet. He'll pick out the shield.
No way.
Place it down. He can see the alibi. Here comes Snake, and Afer wins the fight, going from team killing to getting all the site players and the plant. This Osa, you know, we were haters in the first couple rounds, but so far it's worked out beautifully. GOONS, looks like they figured it out.
The Osa's a slow burn. It was comical in the first round, ineffective in the second, pretty good in the third, and then in the fourth, I damn well won him it. It came out clutch in the 1v1. He's able to deploy that shield, take advantage of, admittedly, Snake maybe being in a bit of an off position. Still a little bit risky there, but he got it down. And he's able to see the alibi, exactly like Harrison said. Of course, there was still that round could have been ended inside of Sunrise had Gunner really gone massive, but GASHER'S Goons, again, shut that down very quickly, got another kill and Bills on top of that, and again, 2 rounds in a row now that have been really spearheaded by a very successful roam clear. Sure, the side execute was a little shaky, but they brought it back in the end, and it's still a commonality in the first minute of the rounds, in both the victories the GASHER'S Goons have had so far.
Afer is now 11-8 on this Osa. So it has been progressively getting better and better for GASHER'S Goons. We'll see how it works on Penthouse, though. This is I mean, okay. I'm trying to think where Afer could really make his stand. He could watch 90 Hall.
10 seconds to go.
He could put his Shield Hall of Fame door. Bathroom, maybe. He could be the one planting couch. But,
we're going all in on this Osa now.
Now I am, yeah. Before, I was just making fun of it. But now this actually worked. And, like, had a proper influence on the round. Not just with, like, Afer fragging up, but using the shields effectively. I'm really digging in deep now.
Well, I'm certainly on the Osa Afer train, and he already puts one down. Watching if anybody moves down front of the hallway, and he picks it back up.
He puts it down for, like, every potential engagement, just to be safe.
Oh, Gunner almost sees an opportunity. He sees another one. Puts a shot into the ankle of Afer, who's now out from behind the protection of his shield, his Aegis inside of Sunrise.
What?
Gunner, he's not watching his back. Hat takes him down or puts him on the floor. He doesn't pick him back up. The nanobites only affect attacking teams. Gasher finishes off Gunner, so the Aruni alone upstairs, the first to fall.
Well played.
Not alone, but
I did not expect Hat to be there. That's why I made that noise. Even I was surprised by Definka's position. And now Snake, wow, is domed by Exile, landing the pre-fire with Lion's gun, it looked like. Someone else is coming for the refrag over by the window. I think that's Bill's now prone luggage as Hat heals himself up further. Exile now aware of it as the drone gets shot, and he'll land yet another pre-fire. Mr. B finally with an answer, takes the Finka off the board, finishes the low HP Hat, but it's still a 2v4 in Doc, stuck in VIP, unable to rotate out for now. Osa shield goes down, C4 to blow it up, but it will only succeed in destroying the shield. No damage done to Afer. Doc is attempting to rotate back towards Hall of Fame. Mr. B has a long angle, doesn't catch Afer quite yet though. There's a minute 10 left. GASHER'S Goons, they've got ample time and ample manpower. I like their decision to slow down thus far, really drone out these last couple defenders. Flashes come in, making way for the burn on the 90 shield. As long as they know that Doc is stuck inside VIP, they should be able to safely push up this hallway.
Intel constantly being relayed about Doc's position, but it's Mr. B the first to strike in the final 45 seconds. They know what's coming from luggage. He smokes them. Can't get the second as Afer crosses, but he's done his work. We're back to an even 2v2, and it's Rice and Afer who now have the onus of making a play. trying to win this and keep the overtime dream, the map 3 dream alive. Mr. B on the elevated surface, can't land the shots as Rice makes the entry. He finally lands some, but Rice so far undaunted, continuing his push inside of the site with Afer, his guardian angel on the coverage, succeeding on his mission so far. The smoke blocking the attacker, allowing him to reposition. He can spot the Hibana, but he doesn't even see it. Afer, the coverage, doesn't have to worry whatsoever about the Warden, who's fully intent on killing the Osa, fails in his duty. We're one round away from overtime.
GASHER'S Goons were down 6-2. They have since taken 3 rounds in a row on their attack. And again, the Osa working out beautifully. So again, I mean, we're going to keep backtracking. What was once probably going to be the running joke of this game has now turned into the saving grace. And I got to hand it to GASHER'S Goons. They are the first team that I have seen actually use Osa effectively, have an impact on the round, not just fragging out with that PDW, but using the shields as well. I mean, placing it in 90, making sure that that shield in 90 was, just as unplayable for the defense as it was for the attack, eventually burning all that utility away. I don't like how GASHER'S Goons, I said I kind of liked how they were slowing down and, gathering info and making sure they had eyes on the last defenders, but it looked like all they really did was drone out Doc. They didn't know where Mr. B was, and Mr. B landed a triple kill, and things were getting kind of crazy, kind of out of control. I was really worried there for a sec for the attack, but unfortunately, Mr. B just couldn't do quite enough work. GASHER'S Goons still recovered. We're going back down to Kitchen. Now, granted, this did come down to a 1v1 for Afer, so this, for me, is still a bit of a toss-up. I don't know, Carter.
With Chess Club so far, their big play of having or at the very least a threatening offsite roam, and so far has either been eliminated entirely or at the bare minimum pushed back by GASHER'S Goons throughout the past 3 to 4 rounds of their attacks. They're going with the same strategy, using this Osa to push into Sunrise, in which Afer will put down the shield and hold down the rotation out of Kitchen. He'll just drone right now, as Exile does the exact same above him on Hookah Balcony, taking the first minute to gather some intel. They'll likely find the Legion Gunner, of course, playing alone inside of Sunrise and in a prime position for pinching, either on that window or from up above. He might have a player playing close by on Cool Vibes, but Harrison, we've seen Gunner in this exact same position, and with the active intel being relayed to the attack, it's looking like it might be a similar fate if he's not careful.
Shield already destroyed Hookah Door as well, forcing Bills to fall back. He can no longer really play that position confidently. Hat is sending some shots with a long angle through Blue Bar. Unfortunately for him, he's only got the reflex sight, so maybe not the zoom that he wanted. GASHER'S Goons, a little bit slower on the clear towards Sunrise, but they are taking... they're taking full control of Hookah in a moment, I imagine. There's not too much contesting them up there. Except for the alibi of Snake. No. Sorry, Snake is downstairs. So this defense, mainly horizontal here from Chess Club. And GASHER'S Goons finally going upstairs now, using the vert to try and flush out these players. But Bills lands the first kill onto Rice. Once again, this Hibana not having a lot of luck in this early round. Afer gets the refrag, though. He is low HP. At least trades out his teammate. And there we go. Sunrise now clear for the attack.
Look at how much time it's taken. There's still a chance to tip the scales in their favor as they have active intel on Snake playing inside of Office, and I don't believe he is at all aware of the drone looking directly at him. Somebody moves to the double door, and Snake, of course, gets aggressive, but it's a fool's errand in the end. Hat wins the 1v1 with Gunner on low HP. This could be an effective or an actual 2v4 in very short order. They have intel in the Jaeger's position as well, so drones for GASHER'S Goons, despite less than half of them remaining, doing quite a lot of work in pinning down these remaining defenders, and pin down they will. It was not the Jaeger, it was the Bandit. That's my mistake, but clearly Docs as well. Overstaying is welcome in 90. This could be overtime in the making, and all it takes is 2 more kills. Mr. B will likely prove to be the biggest fight, as he's on the most HP out of the 2 remaining defenders. He'll send out a C4, but it only does slightly amount of damage to Aether. He'll put up his final Osa shield to watch and have the ability to watch those floor holes made in the bottom of Kitchen. Mr. B without a C4 and Gunner without having much post-plant utility. They both have to get aggressive. They have to get some frags. Stop the final push in 10 seconds. Mr. B's gone on red. He finds one. This could be the play. Exile down as well. There's another one. Mr. B will surely be the one to fall, but Gunner could go huge even on 1 HP with only 1 second left. He has to run away. 7-5. Gunner just barely saves the game. And I cannot believe the overtime dream dies with a whimper.
Oh my god. 2v4 at the end there for Mr. B and Gunner. Not only does Gunner hit the perfectly timed rotate to kill the Finka carrying Diffuser, we have got to give it up to Mr. B there. I mean, when Gasher left the kitchen window, right? And I saw the Mira reposition to stand there just right in front of it, out in the open. I was like, yeah?
Yeah, Mr. B?
Yeah?
That's the
Lachlan? And, it ended up winning them the round. The attackers began to funnel through the kitchen door. And you were talking about how the drones were doing a lot of work for those offsite players. But Mr. B was unread. Happy to sit in the corner. Trigger discipline being the name of the game. And when he kills Aether, it seems like it was simply not communicated in time to exile. And the Lion dies. Gets shot in the back. Sure, Hat is there for the trade, but it's too little too late. Gasher is on the other side of the map outside service, in no position to help his team. So not only do I have to give it up to Mr. B, but I really have to question that from Gasher. I mean, you have 2 people coming in from kitchen. I think actually a third with that Finka moving in. Maybe
Yeah,
she
there
was
3 in kitchen.
coming lobby. I don't know. Why go service? I mean, maybe trying to find the crossfire on, you know, if anyone holding like the angle through the shelf and forcing them off of it. But if he had just held that window, if Gasher was still outside, that doesn't happen. So, I mean, chalk it up to maybe lack of intel there. But wow, what a play from Mr. B. And you can see it on the replay right now. Landing one, Exile is looking the wrong way. And, I mean, Gasher's silhouette is all the way across the map. Perfectly done by those last 2 members. And man, Gasher's Goons. I mean, it was quite a comeback attempt on Coastline, but I mean, they got to go back to the drawing board with their defenses, bro.
But to be fair, at the same time, it's not like they don't have the opportunity to. They're not out of SCS. Unlike the game earlier where we saw
That's
Nuke
true.
Slayers eliminated, this was the match to get into playoffs. So it does mean the Chess Club are confirmed in playoffs. They've won their 2 best of 3s. They've made it. Gasher's Goons are now 1-1. They instead will fight the losers of the match earlier today to see if they can make it into playoffs. And to be fair, Harrison, it's not like Gasher's Goons have been completely a terrible story. This roster has been under construction for quite a long time, and going into stage 2, it appeared to be this might be one of the better iterations of it, but certainly today is one that, while it was close, while there were certainly a lot of good moments, it wasn't exactly a stomp by Chess Club. It was still a 2-0 loss, and one that definitely calls in a lot of questions, especially when it comes to the positioning and some of those heated moments in the game.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes for Gasher's Goons. I mean, well played to Gunner, 15-7. Snake not far behind, 13-8. Only player on double digits. In fact, the only player positive on the entire team was Aether. We were clowning at the beginning for not making good use of the Osa, and then came back and almost, you know, I wouldn't say single-handedly, but was a massive part of the comeback. So props to Aether for that. I mean, going a total, I think 24-17 across the series, being the star player for this team. But, oh man, that's like the one takeaway I have. The one positive takeaway I have from Gasher's Goons is like, wow, really good job figuring out Osa. Other than that, there's not a lot. Not a lot that went well. At least not consistently.
That is true, but again, I'm trying to balance out Harrison with all the critique. Like, again, still have a chance. They get to play Mystic next week. Still got to see if they can make the adjustments. Take a look at the stats overall. Still some fairly good across the board. Aether, Gasher, Het, all taking above a 1 rating. It's the exact same for Chess Club, though a little bit higher margins. But Aether was the highest rated player in the entire series, 24-17, like Harrison said. And overall, it wasn't a terrible performance individually and amongst these players, especially because of that comeback. Sure, it might have been impactless in the end, but they were all putting in an effort and making that OSA strategy work on map 1 as well. Sure, again, they might have lost it, but they kept it so close in their opponent's map pick, losing 7-5 on both maps. This is not a Chess Club that is completely out of the realm of possibility from winning the game against Mystic next week. This is still a Chess Club this is a GASHER'S GOONS, who's able to keep it close against what many would consider to probably be the best team in Group C. And now they get to go to Mystic, who've also had their own trials and tribulations. I don't think this story is over for GASHER'S GOONS just yet.
Yeah. I mean, they looked really good. Or not really good. They looked decent on the maps they won against Noob Slayers. So, like you said, there's probably a chance that they beat Mystic. I think that's probably going to be a hard-fought match, considering Mystic 2-0'd Noob Slayers. And, they were 2-0'd by Chess Club, just like GASHER'S GOONS just was. But, I hope we see more OSA play like that in the future. Not just from GASHER'S GOONS, but from teams as a whole. Because OSA, I think, we were clowning it, and not again, I said OSA sucks, so that was an exaggeration. Not because OSA sucks, but because people haven't really utilized OSA properly yet. But that was a perfect example of GASHER'S GOONS doing that. I mean, maybe Coastline's kind of one of the very, very few maps you're going to be able to use her because of how utilitarian the other maps are. But I hope we see more stuff like that eventually. And you can see these are our 3 qualified teams for the playoffs thus far: Dallas Vendetta, One Shot, and Chess Club. And Carter, tomorrow we'll be able to see just who that last top seed is going to be.
Yes, indeed. It will be one additional team, as next week we will, of course, nose was itching, excuse me. We do start some decider matches to do in the next week, but we do have another sponsor to thank. Another sponsor. It's one of the same ones from earlier. It's Mavix Gaming Chairs. What would you call? It's one of the gaming peripheral companies. Would that be correct?
Are chairs peripherals?
That's what I was wondering. What is the technical term? I mean, aside from a chair. Accessory?
Furniture?
Gaming furniture? They can get for as low as $22 a month. If you're interested, you want to check out the new M4 gaming chair or anything else that might suit your fancy. If you're in the market for a new gaming chair, go to mavix.com/nerdstreetgamers. And thank you very much, as always, to being the gaming furniture /peripheral /accessory /chair company that we love here at SCS.
I don't know why gaming furniture just makes me laugh. But
there's only, I guess there's a gaming table as well. That's just a desk.
Yeah, gaming desk. I mean, they do make, gaming desks like for PC. Did you know, Serena, I found out they actually make desks that function as PC cases. So you build your computer like into the desk, and it's sick. But speaking of gaming, if you like gaming furniture, you'll love gaming candy.
Or just gameplay.
Or just normal candy. Because candy is always great. Thank you, Mike and Ike, for always being, one of our favorite sponsors. We only have 2, but they're both our favorites. You can power up your game with a box of Mike and Ike. There's the original you see on your screen, or during the other flash card, there's the sour and the normal Mega Mix, and they're all epic. So if you want to play like Gunner and be top of the lobby, well, I guess
actually
be top of his team and win, instead of being top of the lobby and lose. Or if you want to do that too. You got a box of Mike and Ike and really elevate both your game and your taste buds. Carter.
Harrison, I got to be honest. I think you were a bit inaccurate in your talk there.
Was I?
I think Mike and Ike's are mega instead of what you said.
Yeah.
Just being honest. We have the sweet play of the day. What is it? You cut to it. It's the Doc and Bills 2v4.
I'm really
in
sad
its beautiful, uncut glory.
Really sad it wasn't that coastline round, but that's okay. That was more funny than it was anything. Exile gets caught with a flash in his hand. I mean, that was just poor timing. Rice should have been there with him, but wasn't. Tries to spam through the wall and then gets destroyed by the shotgun. I mean, Afer died off screen. Gasher lands a brilliant shot right there, but unfortunately, he misses Bills' cross. He hops down. That's a massive sound. Q Bills has working ears, so he knows Gasher hopped down. Rotates around. A Rooney Gate is burned, thus further establishing Gasher's whereabouts. And well, Bills plays past it and waits and lands a beautiful shot. And that was one of many rounds that Gasher's Goons probably shouldn't have lost and still did.
I mean, yeah, whenever you have a 4v2 and you're converting that onto the site, obviously there might be some mistakes, some spillage that might occur. But definitely when you end up losing the game losing the map 7-5, though, in a way, the game 7-5 if you think about it, definitely comes down to some of those small mistakes.
Did you know? Apparently, Mr. B wore khakis for that game. Gasher's Goons lost Coastline to a pair of khakis, and I guess that is also on me for ever betting against Gunner. I never bet against Gunner, dude. I never bet against Gunner, and the one time I do, just off a random feeling before the game, the one time I do, it comes back to haunt me. So Sean Gunner Potteroff, CCS champion, RSA champion, NSG champion, SCS champion actually as well. I apologize. That's on me. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
I was gonna make a point that I'm not even wearing khakis, but moment's kind of gone.
Wearing?
I stood up.
I have a dress shirt and pajama pants.
That's cute.
You want to see?
Stand up. Do a little show for the camera. Yeah, I'm letting this drag on for a minute. I'm not going away yet.
I can't. I'm not tall enough. There we go.
There we go. Look at the SCS Season 6 outfit. Well, before this devolves further into chaos, thank you all for watching. That is groups. Well, half of groups A through C done and dusted. We still have Group D tomorrow, and then still some games next week to get our playoffs affairs all set in order. So I have been Lynx, joined by Harrison. I'll be back tomorrow for some of the playoffs games, but even for the ones I'm not here,
I will too.
I hope you all watch. We'll see you tomorrow.